All right. Hello. Welcome, everyone, to the HEX Happy Hour Show.
It's time, people.
Let's get this party started, boys. What is up, gentlemen? Yeah. How's everybody doing today?
Oh, doing fantastic out here. How are you doing? That looks beautiful.
I am freaking wonderful. And this is my buddy BGR.
Happy Friday, boys.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
Chilling on the beach. Not a Hexican yet, but you know he's getting there. So, but friends of many Mexicans I know. So, how's everything going, man? We're waiting on our guest. We got Mati Allin coming up. We got Funding Gym. So, we're going to talk some onboarding and really just a chill, casual stream. We got the air show going on this weekend. We shouldn't have much, but there's a big ass plane flying at me now. I'll try to get it in the background. You'll probably see it fly over my shoulder here in a little bit. It just looks like a single engine, but the wingspan's huge. Anyway, have that up there. But yeah, how's everybody doing tonight?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain. Just another sunny, beautiful day here in Puerto Rico, too.
Yeah, I'm just chilling. Ready for Vegas at this point.
Enjoying a
so
day, tapping on all-time highs. Jeez.
I know, that's right. So let's talk about that for a minute. So Motley, you just brought up Vegas, and we're going to talk about that with Funding Gym and Maddie. But what are we thinking that the sacrifice phase might not start until after the Vegas conference, or it could be announced during the Vegas conference? How epic would that be? I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
No expectations. Who knows?
What would you like to see?
I would like him not to release it while I'm in Vegas. That would be ideal. I'll put contingency plans in place, but yeah, it would be a lot easier if he does not launch it while I'm in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, a 48-hour heads up, like when it starts, and it's like, here's all the rules or whatever, and you get 24 hours or 48 hours, or whatever to start for the whatever. That I would be cool with that, in Vegas. That would be kind of nifty. But it would be exciting. I mean, yeah, towards the end.
Sunday night. I'm okay with Sunday night. Gives me time to fly in. Gives me time to let the price pump a little bit to get in for the volume phase. Sunday night's fine by me.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. Yeah, what's going on, DJ? Yeah, I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool with. I mean, honestly, if it has to be, like I've been saying, man, I'll take now. I'll take tomorrow. I'll take Monday. I'll take Tuesday. Wednesday starts cutting a little close. Thursday, let's hold off. All right, give me a couple days. So maybe not Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week.
Agree. Tuesday, and even I don't even really want Saturday either. So like Sunday, no. Tuesday or Sunday, anywhere in that window, please, Richard, don't do it. I mean, on his last stream, he said like 40 to 60 days till launch of actual PulseChain. So we're looking at probably somewhere between 15 and 30 days. So that would put us just a little outside of Vegas, hopefully. So probably like early July, kind of like we were guessing earlier, if everything runs smoothly, which is a big if.
So what's your preference then of like just, I mean, Richard's words were just like, okay, a drop of a hat, this thing could go and then it's on, right? But wouldn't it be better to at least have some build up to it for, I'm just thinking like hex price sake and just like the swelling of excitement and all that. You think we'll at least get like a day or two, like Kirk was talking there?
Yeah, I think there might be some time just to build up excitement and hype, and it's not even that too. It's just enough time for it to kind of sit, and because we're missing so many details, you almost have to give us a little bit of time to just figure out, all right, this is what you're getting for the volume phase. These are the benchmarks you need to hit. This is how long it's going to be. This is how long the price inflation per day phase is going to be. This is this is how PulseChain is going to work. We're going to have these bridges. Like, there's just so much information. It's going to be a lot to take in just day one and just probably off one stream. So it'd be nice if he gives us maybe a couple days of streams and going over the information, give the community a chance to digest, ask some questions, do another stream, and give us like 2 to 3 days.
24 to 48 hours. That's what I think he should give us. At least that, to just like, here it is. Here's everything in a nutshell. And the day that it goes live is the clock is ticking for 24 hours or 36 hours or whatever. I mean, YouTube will be alight with streamers going nuts. Everyone going to be on being like, yo, let me go over this real quick.
Yeah, bringing up Johnny Chaos there.
I mean, I hear you, Johnny. That's why I'm saying, like, tomorrow, whatever, the next day, I'm fine with it. But, like, you know, getting like you said, you can't. I don't want to buy the rumor, sell the news, what Walter said, kind of event. But I don't think you get that with a 24-hour run up. I think that yeah, I see that you don't get much more than 24 to 48 hours, you know, because of that.
This is different. I don't think anyone's going to be selling. We've seen it already. We just have those few traders, and that's about it. We've had this nice price increase. Like, we've gone up a lot higher than what I thought we were going to do before the announcement of when PulseChain was going to be launched, sacrifice phase was going to be launched. So I'm excited to see what we do during all that madness. Like, price is going to be it's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun.
Yeah, I mean, I know of people that I'm like, you know, you should probably just buy that HEX like now or so, and they're all like, yeah, you know, I'm just gonna hold on to these dumping bags a little bit longer, and I'm like, okay, I guess. So you know, so I know that there's people that are gonna, you know, that are going to be FOMOing in one way or another. I mean, they're like planning to. It's okay. So.
Yeah, but to, I guess, counter Walter's argument here, because I do agree with it in a sense, logically, just in terms of stock market talk, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? But like, wouldn't this be like the first initial step to like the real build up? Wouldn't the sell the news be at the end of the sacrifice phase?
I mean, that's something that makes a lot of sense. It's just like, you can't sell what you don't have, so it really depends on how much of that HEX as it pumps up goes into the sacrifice phase. You know what I mean? Like, if most of what gets bought goes in, then it's really hard to sell what you don't have. I mean, how are you going to dump that price when you already gave it up?
I honestly think we're going to see 20 to 30 cent HEX at some point throughout the sacrifice phase. So, I mean, to me, it's
really
optimal. It's optimal for me to obviously keep my bags that are going to pump the most. So obviously that's going to be in HEX. I do have a slight allocation of USDC in case there's any whales that want to get froggy with the price and try to sell it down and then buy in with USDC. So I do have an allocation for that, but I feel like there's going to be periods of time throughout this sacrifice phase where the HEX price is just going to be absolutely insane. So if you still have that bag of HEX, then you get to sacrifice a fraction of your HEX for that same USDC value if you were patient and you were able to time the fluctuations during the sacrifice phase, because we're going to have up and down trends. And I think it's going to be extremely volatile. And if you time it correctly, you could essentially sacrifice a fraction of your HEX for the same amount of USD value you were initially planning on sacrificing for Pulse.
What's up, Super Hex? We got Whales Only in the chat. Bunch of
I feel like that's the truth, Motley, just in the fact that I like just in how it's already appreciated. You're like, all right, I was going to put in X amount of dollars when you first heard about the sacrifice, what, a month or two ago, a month and a half ago, whatever. And that can change now dramatically, considering we've done an 8X run, you know, so it's or 4X run, you know, so it's like, you know, everybody has a different allocation than they might have expected, and might be in a better position that's already holding HEX.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were preaching from the beginning when we figured out about PulseChain and sacrifice phase. It was like, accumulate your HEX now. Like, we had that at the dip at like 1.3 cents. We had that lull period for like, we were sitting around like 2 cents when Richard came on, just like, hey, this is going to happen in 7 days. Turns out to be a little bit longer than 7 days, but look how far the price has come in that period of time. It's weeded out a lot of the weak hands. They got left behind in that price run up. And now for the most part, it's all diamond hands, a few traders, and we're getting ready to just punch through this 10 cent glass ceiling that we're just sitting at right now.
Yep, you keep tapping on it. I mean, some of those wicks up are pretty damn impressive. You're like, woo.
Yeah, where are we at right now? I haven't checked the chart.
9.2
30 minutes. Okay.
Depending on where
sorry
you're
for
at.
the production quality a little lower than standard for the next few weeks. So I'm going to lean on my guys here to co-host this show and steer the ship, so to speak. But yeah, it might be a
tough go around next week with us in Vegas here. We may have to on site.
Yeah, I haven't figured that out yet. So I mean, we can take a week off or something, or I mean, it would be awesome to chat with you guys while you're out there. So if you have any ideas, let me know.
I don't know what my state of mind is going to be.
I think where I'm going to be Friday at Vegas time, 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
When Maddie gets on here, he'll tell us where we're supposed to be. I don't know if that's where I'm going to actually be, but I'm going to try my best.
I don't know where I'm going to be, but I know it's the state of mind that I'm more concerned
about.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Now, again, those Friday at 3 or so, or whatever, so we should be able to handle it.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
slightly buzzed probably at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe if it was the other way around, it was a few hours later. Then I don't know.
Yeah, no promises. Getting ready to go out at that point. I think Maddie just said he's going to hop on as soon as he gets off this plane. So I guess he's still on the plane, just probably landed in Vegas.
Yeah, I think I was muted, but yeah, he's been messaging me, so he's pumped to get on, and I can't wait to talk to him. And I know Gary's trying to get in too. Just saw him pop up. I don't know. He's traveling as well, I think. So might be some technical issues there, but we'll keep this ship
moving, man. The Hexicans be on the move. They open some shit up, and the Hexicans be all over the place.
And if you hear BGR back here, he's watching the stream on his phone as we're talking and laughing at some of the things that Motley said about Vegas and his state of mind and stuff.
It's gonna be fucked up. It's gonna be cycles of fucked up and recovery every day.
There he is.
There he is. What's up, Gary?
Been a mile a minute. I'm trying to get on the screen.
How you doing, Gary?
Good.
I made it.
100 things brewing, and the most exciting one is HEX and Pulse.
That's awesome.
Outstanding. Yeah. So I wanted to get you and Maddie on because you guys have been doing some really cool stuff in terms of just onboarding ideas. I know Maddie's going to speak for himself a little later when he comes on. But for anybody who doesn't know already, can you just throw it out there? What you've kind of been working on with the role of HEX or however you want to call it.
Well, I want brand that's not related to crypto associated with HEX and Pulse. So I think that the best way to break through based on this particular opportunity of the SINS Foundation donation is to approach corporations that already have a history of donating to 501c3s. And especially if they have any prior engagement with the life sciences, I think it's an excellent entrance point. So when I talked to Robert Kiyosaki this past weekend, he has a physician on staff that deals with regenerative medicine. That's one of his staff that travels with him. He actually gave a talk for about 30 minutes during the weekend to 500 or 700 people, and it was about longevity. It was about legacy and things like that we don't last forever. And it wasn't a pitch or a solicitation, but it was obvious that he had an interest. Just like a lot of wealthy people, you realize that you're mortal. Eventually, this coil releases from us. So he commented a little bit about it, and his about maybe a year ago, he was overweight. And it was basically, he thought of it as toxic lifestyle. His cardiologist said, his personal cardiologist said that he needed to address some things. And that cardiologist's wife is a physician as well, specifically in regenerative medicine. So she was at the meeting. Her name's Nicole, and I ended up talking with her a bit. And she knew Aubrey DeGray already, and I thought it was a good parlay into the opportunity. The opportunity for these corporations or just rich people is, one, they get PR that they gave to a cause. Peter Thiel gets a tax deduction, sure, but he has a cause in mind. So does Vitalik Buterin. He gets a tax deduction, sure, but he has a cause in mind. And the extra bonus is the idea that it's airdrop. If there is no airdrop specifically to the entity, they honestly don't care. Right now, it's a zero cost, zero value potential airdrop at $0 fair market value of Pulse. And maybe they get a home run out of that. They get a zero cost basis to enter the crypto market. Maybe they haven't dealt with crypto at all in the past. Or maybe they have, like Robert Kiyosaki commented about Bitcoin positively. And if they do believe in Bitcoin, they always have the opportunity to trade out of Pulse into Bitcoin at zero basis. So if you think about zero basis and basically conversion or entrance and things like that, some of these entities that have nothing to do with crypto are very approachable right now. You have an opportunity. Another thing that's very interesting is the donor does not have to have an Ethereum address that's associated with the donor that receives the airdrop. So if you become a bridge and you basically, advocate and they donate stock or cash, or they do a wire transfer, they may not ever have an Ethereum address, but the one that is going to receive the airdrop can be yours. There's nothing that says that it has to be the entity that receives the airdrop. So you have opportunity right now to reach out. If you have challenges actually framing the contact, I'll help. I'll help you get into Pulse basically at zero cost, but you have to do the work of the bridge. You have to know somebody that's of importance to solicit the time of me or Aubrey DeGray. Aubrey DeGray, I've already spoken with, and he specifically will do a live Zoom meeting with his CPA from SENS if you or the entity is donating $100,000 or more. So if they're doing $100,000 or more, he's willing to get on actual live call with these entities or individuals that are donating, and don't waste his time, but it needs to be a real thing. And I think that's a home run opportunity for you to potentially benefit if it's not the entity. I would like Kiyosaki's foundation to hold Pulse, but if they choose not to, that's fine. I would like Meet Kevin's, another person I'm talking to hold Pulse, because he advocates about Bitcoin and speculates on Tesla and things like that in his YouTube channel. And even Steph Graham and things like that. There are people that you could approach that talk about Bitcoin positively or negatively, but almost none of them can get into Bitcoin for zero. They can through this opportunity. They can potentially, right? Because who knows what Pulse is going to do. If they want to convert into Bitcoin because they believe in Bitcoin, there will be an opportunity to go from zero to whatever they exit into Bitcoin cost. That's what I'm working on.
Well, that is outstanding. And thank you for, I know you're just a busy guy in general, but I also just want to ask, like, where do you find the time for all this stuff, man? Because it seems like you're traveling everywhere. You have your hands in cars and real estate, and how do you manage it all?
Cabana's just chilling on the beach.
Where's
the time?
So actually, the next time that you have crypto coffee in one of these conversations, you should ask him about this weekend, because he and I were both in Miami all day long. I glad-handed and networked. I tried to introduce him as well, right? And all day long, right? Everybody that was on the panel, I made special cards that me and Kurkowski work on, and I made their cards, right, with their brand platform, and it was a great entrance tool for conversation. No cost. I'm not trying to solicit or have you buy my product or nothing like that, but it was a great swag bag giveaway. So it was an excellent way to reach out to some of these people. And at the end of the first night, I think the first night was like a rival and just like a little cocktail party thing. The second day was actually part of the program, and it was a Saturday night. And after the event, Coffee and I went out to some rooftop place in Miami or whatever, drank a little bit, networked. I networked with pretty girls.
I saw that. I wanted to ask about that as well. Tell me about that networking.
It works. I mean, I've had a game for a long time. I just put it aside for business every so often. So that sort of thing. And it worked out. And I think I stayed up to maybe like 4 a.m. The next talk was going to be at 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. And the first talk was Robert Kiyosaki on that Sunday. So I really didn't think that Coffee was going to show up at 8 a.m. on Sunday. And he didn't, but I did. And then later in the day, he's like, how do you have this much fucking energy? And I was like, I don't know. I've always had like a hummingbird kind of metabolism. I have no idea why I'm like this. So I don't know.
Well, props to you, man, because that's amazing. And it's also a funny little anecdote about Coffee there. So that's great as well. Perhaps he made friends with some of those beautiful ladies in that photo or two that were circulating.
Coffee's content, when he creates his videos, it's digestible, it's relatable, it's fact-based, it's he is an asset. I mean, the commentary that Motley always puts out there in these different four guys talking about crypto, I think it's excellent as well. But Coffee actually sits down and makes these things that he releases, this narrative that you saw recently, he just put out most recently. It's excellent. That was excellent content. And these are the kinds of things when people ask me about HEX, they're always DMing me. I often refer to people, if they have, if Motley's conversation pieces, whether he did it or someone else like Balliet Brand, he does HEX clips and he does these little 1 minute, 2 minute little clips. Slice some of that stuff up, find the relevant information, put it in a particularly SEO digestible, Rogan clips kind of thing. And when we're out there networking, we can point to a roster of these very detailed answers for those detailed questioning people. I think it's excellent. So everybody is doing great in the community. And I respect Coffee's diligence too. I was just saying in real life, I was trying to get in front of real people. And I think he relates to a bigger audience through the internet.
No, he's absolutely fantastic. He was the first Hexican that I ever streamed with, over a year ago now, and he was just so gracious with his time. Any questions that I had about like getting my stuff set up and sorted out, he was always there. I mean, I just messaged him. He was like, "Sure, bro, just." So he's such an asset to the community. Same with you, Gary. It's awesome, and everybody, here the. Motley and Kirk, Vince, everybody, so many people in the chat, familiar faces. It just takes a little bit, from everyone to make this thing, even that more spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, I was showing off to somebody about just like they were asking, they're like, how do you have all the answers to these questions? And I went into main chat. And because they were asking about matcha because they couldn't remember the name. And I was like, hey guys, what's that match thing that Richard's always talking about? Boom. 2 seconds later, matcha. Oh, you talking about this? Like from everybody. Like, I mean, I'm like, look, the answers are, this community will give you the answers in an instant. They're like poised and ready to please give me a reason to tell you why this is awesome. And it's awesome. I mean, it really sells itself, and because there's such a amazing community that has every one of those pieces. I've already referred a couple people to Coffee's class. That information's class is like fantastic information too. I mean, like there's a lot of people creating great content. It's awesome to see.
And actually, the audience. Try not to be a time waster. And again, most people don't realize when they are, when they're not. But try not to be a time waster. However, most of us have experimented with some of the things we regret, like early in HEX experience or whatever, and not about HEX specifically, but these things that supposedly were built on top of, or this other thing that's very similar to what HEX is. So feel free to ask. And if it's coming from someone that is, whether you call it brave or bold or whatever, that is in the public like Krakowski, Cabana, Motley, myself, I think you're going to get more valid answers. When people are back and forth inside the chat rooms, whether it's Telegram or Twitter or whatever, and they're they're anonymous, and they just want to troll back and forth or trying to derail people, I hate that shit. I hate it completely. And I'm willing to be public, and I'm willing to talk to people direct, set up a little video chat, explain things. If you're not a time waster, if you're a serious player in this game, then there's people that here that can walk you through and help you through this process. Because truthfully, helping anybody else, like if I were in the real estate game and I'm trying to sell real estate in a particular zip code, it's not really to my advantage to help another person. Because their product might sell to my buyer, right? And this is different in that if we help other people stay rich and not get derailed, and keep that economic power staked or whatever it might be, we all benefit, right? We help from the narrative, right? So I like, I have scarce time, just like all of us do, and I do have to triage to some time I can put toward answering the same question over and over and over. It's the same person over and over and over. But in general, I'm helpful. In general, Krakowski, Motley, everybody's helpful. We just choose different methods of how we relate that information to the public.
This would be a perfect time for Maddie to come in and introduce his app if he was here. As far as onboarding goes and answering the same questions, but I'm sure he'll be here shortly.
Come on, Maddie, get off the plane.
Yeah, slacking. He should be on his phone just streaming right now.
Yeah, that's true though. I mean, there's a million ways to onboard and a lot of like different ways to hear the message, and there's some people that I know that are older folks that really like the way that, Conrad Zen gives the same information, some folks that I know would rather hear it they'd call me after a Richard stream and they're like, yo, tell me what happened, because I don't want to hear him say that shit. So like there's some people who just find him unpalatable, it's, I mean, whatever, everyone has some way to get the information, and you can hear it from a lot of different people, and it's fine, that's all fine, and it's nice that we have as many narratives and as many people that are willing to offer theirs, to reach out to people.
Well, I mean, again, it's the power of community is that you have different participants in the community that are relatable to different people who've never heard of HEX, never heard of Pulse. And that relatability, mine might be a generation or a way that I speak or terminology. Others might be, a gaming side of the crypto game. Some people are more cautious because they built up assets in other fields. So you're going to find someone that's relatable inside of community. And we're all liaisons of the source of information, which is Richard's genius. Richard's genius and his observation and participation in the crypto market, in the business market for 20-something years or longer. It's invaluable.
Yep.
Sorry, muted. Trying to balance the wind here on the shore, but it's just outstanding. It's something that I've thought about. I tend to have extra time. Motley's gonna make fun of me, but when I'm here, or any beach for that matter, and I like to just walk and think and maybe do a video or two every now and then. And one of the next ones I might do, maybe it's tomorrow or maybe next week, whatever, is just about some hesitancy from the HEX community with when it comes to Pulse. And a lot of HEX skins I've seen they want to keep their HEX, which is absolutely fine. You do you, but at the same time, it's like you're also getting a copy of the community on this new chain. So just a little involvement in it, I think, would be great to keep yourself engaged. And it may not be, a huge investment or sacrifice, I'm sorry, but, you're getting a copy of the best community in crypto, and, to have like a little stake in that game, no pun intended, would be, just so fun for everyone moving forward, because you would not only get, your HEX content that's ongoing, you'd also get your PulseChain content, and you would, continually learn both sides of that, which are kind of, will go hand in hand. I think it's just an important thing to consider. I don't know if anybody has any thoughts on that.
Well, Richard has been demonstrating for a long time that aligning incentives and creating win-win situations, people getting good deals, that's a trend for him. And you're right about inheriting the best community. So if you like the idea of Pulse, if you bought into the Ethereum ICO in 2015, did you have community? No. Did you have dApps and products? No. Was it a world computer? No. It was just a promise coin. That's all it was. And that promise coin obviously has performed well through the guidance, mentorship, leadership of the founders, right? So that trio that was the founders. And they did create value. That value was impressive. And now you have an opportunity basically to participate in the fork of the entire system state. So if you believed in Ethereum, and if you continue to today, doesn't mean you have to give up on Ethereum, but you're inheriting the best of technology, and you're inheriting a launch community that you didn't have in the ICO of Ethereum originally. So I see rockets ahead.
What's up, Maddie? How was
Hey,
your flight?
can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound
We
good.
can, dude. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing? I heard somebody say my name. But dude, you minted a Maddie.
I didn't recognize him. I thought it was a skater guy. I thought he was in a skate park or something.
You
The
just
video
landed in
maker
Vegas?
dude.
Hey. Cool.
There you
Let's go skating.
We were just talking about onboarding, and like we said, you appeared. It's fantastic.
Did you say skateboarding or onboarding?
Both, if you like.
Onboarding.
Talking onboarding, Maddie. So are you good for chatting now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now's the perfect time.
Yeah, I mean, Gary was, talking about, some of his initiative, and I just wanted to kind of, bring both of you guys on at the same time, because, I was saying earlier, the efforts of the community have just been amazing, and, Gary's doing his thing, and I just wanted to get your, comments on what you have going on, your app, and, just fill everybody in who doesn't already know, and, speak a little on it.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about Gary's work, and he's contributing to the Hexagon meetup in Vegas by allowing us to use some of his technology in order to make it easier to onboard people. So people will see the magic of that in action. And then aside from that, I'm also launching a new app, which is a front end for HEX. And the target audience is going to be people who know somebody who got rich in HEX. So people who know Hexicans. And as I was looking at the macro psychology of our onboarding strategies, I've realized that many of us go after people who are ready or who are almost there. And so I think that this tool will allow us to go after a larger audience of people who are not ready, but could become ready by onboarding from fiat to T-shares in 3 minutes or less. And so I'm really excited to roll that out here as soon as possible.
Oh, B. That's pretty killer.
Yeah, that's awesome, Maddie. And while you're here, because I think it's great timing, fill us in on Vegas. I'm not able to go. I have my usual summer travel plans.
His obligations right now.
Bro, Come on. But no, seriously, how is everything coming together? I mean, I think the attendance is surpassing expectations. So I mean, that's a great problem to have, obviously. But just give us the latest update and how things are going, and
Yeah. So the latest update is that the first place that we're meeting is changing again because we have so many people. So we are going to be meeting down the street from the Mob Museum Speakeasy at the same time we were going to meet there. So that's like 4 o'clock local time. And that allows us to all get together at a place called Dick's, which is connected to something called Cat's Meow. And I'm not sure if Ski Cat owns it or not, but it's a karaoke bar. And so everybody will be required to do karaoke. Maybe, we'll see. But that's where people can pick up their badge and their t-shirt, and then everybody can get together for a 5 o'clock cheers to HEX that we will be doing every day. And that's the local time when it's our favorite time of day when we get paid by the HEX contract. So so people can find the details of that on the blog and on the Telegram group, t.me/HEX meetup. And that's where you want to be checking for any updates that come along.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's just outstanding. I'm like wishing I would, could go and all that. Oh man, it's going to be such a good time. So the toast will be, I guess, at 8 Eastern. Is there any, I guess, plans for, I think you and RG3 might be doing a show together, or what's the plan for the HEX content while everybody's out there? Because it briefly came up at the beginning of the show here, because I was like, I haven't even thought about like doing a happy hour show and maybe trying to get Kirk and Motley from Vegas. That'd be awesome. But I know they're probably in another state of mind. But I'll be in Florida. It would just be an awesome stream to do from Florida and Vegas. And but anyway, is there any plans for content?
I would strongly encourage people such as yourself to continue streaming at the same time and to make these guys attend, hopefully with each other in person, and that way, celebrate and bring attention to the fact that they're together, and so that'd be cool. But my guess is that as Big Kurkowski and Motley said, that people will be in all different kinds of states of mind, and so people can do pop-up content as much, like obviously there's, we're doing this right now, and I'm just in the airport between flights, and then there is some scheduled stuff that's going to be more, I guess, like more planned ahead, and that would be
a tank.
The tank crushing the car.
That's gonna be a good one.
And there's a page for that on my YouTube already, and then there would also be the afternoon hangout on Friday night on Discourse Syndicate.
And we lost Maddie.
No, they're gonna do an effing hangout from Vegas.
Well, it sounds exciting so far. So
that'll be Friday, right? So like, what time is? Because I think that's marquee night, right? The night that
that's the night of the nightclub. So that's like the nightclub thing. Everyone's supposed to start that at like 10 o'clock or something. So
I think so. Yeah.
The effing hangout, but that's 10 o'clock Vegas time. So effing hangout will start at
time,
so we'll start at like 8 o'clock Vegas time and go till 10, I guess. I mean, was that probably their set? Maybe you start earlier, start at 6 and go to, I don't know, whatever they're planning.
I don't know.
Maddie, tell us.
Got to change, got to pregame.
I mean, that's right.
You guys are talking about so the nightclub.
So effing hangout mashed up with the nightclub. Is that how is that gonna?
So we're still working out the details of where we're gonna do the effing hangout. But it should happen before the nightclub happens. And yeah, because people might remember that the first schedule had the nightclub on Saturday night, but then it was changed because we got the hookup on Friday night at the Marquee at the Cosmo, which is next to the Bellagio.
So I have
Very good.
sort of an announcement.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, Naga Bo is doing a big top hat thing for that, and so some people will do that, other people will not. But the announcement is that if you want to get on Amazon and order a top hat to like appear at your hotel or something, that might be a thing, and you just need to make sure that it's okay with the venue. They just don't want any plastic ones, and they don't want to be responsible if you have like one of those $50,000 ones that gets something spilt on it or whatever.
I want the pop-up kind. I can't find the pop-up kind.
Top hats are hard to travel with.
Yeah.
They take up a lot of space.
They don't collapse.
So, Naga's going to be peacocking with that. Sounds pretty cool.
I didn't pick up that Louis Vuitton hat bag when I was at the store. That's fuck. It'd be hard to bring mine.
So also, we're going to be generating content. Kurkowski and I hired.
Is Gary on mute?
We
no, I can hear him.
For there's an error. I can't hear. Sorry.
Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me.
Maddie can't hear you for some reason.
Can everybody else hear me?
I can hear. I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, it's just Maddie.
So Kurkowski and I hired the videographers for George Gammon, Robert Kiyosaki, Mark Moss, and Jason Hartman. It's the same group, and they're out of Miami. And we hired them to fly out to be there for 3 days. Basically, if you want to make some kind of commentary, whether it's HEX or whether it's community, if you're 3 sheets to the wind, it won't get into play. It won't get into the air, but it will be edited down. It will be SEO. It will be perfected before it's released. It won't be.
I will enjoy any of your 3 sheets to the wind outtakes. I will appreciate any.
I want
all of those.
I want the copy that's never going to see the day.
But those might not make the
that will require
versions.
an NFT, and it'll have to your Ethereum address to get the. Yeah.
We're very excited about that. It should be some good content we can get from these guys.
Damn,
and like I said, hopefully everybody can.
You're gonna have your own paparazzi following you around. I like it.
Well, we want to leverage the network also because they have access to the same networks that we're trying to pierce.
Of course.
Yeah, we use their people. They use our people. And then I think that's it. Yeah, exactly. And I think I think it's great for us in general to have some pro photo shots going on there. And there should be some great content, whether it be top hats or clubs or some high rolling games or whatever it is that we end up getting ourselves into. It should be fun.
Yeah, so I think we just started off the stream when we were waiting on Gary and Maddie. Just talking about Kirk, Motley, and I potential sacrifice times or scenarios. So I just wanted to get a take from Gary and Maddie. Well, just Gary now because Maddie rug-pulled. But I guess we'll start with Gary. Do you have a preference in terms of when Richard could announce the sacrifice phase before Vegas or like July 1st, like a set date, or because obviously, as Motley has said before, depending upon many Hexagon states of mind, it might not be a good idea to announce with such a big event in one location. So I just wanted to get your take on that, Gary.
Yeah, I think on the next streams that we do chat with Richard, we will make those comments. I mean, I'm sure he's aware that we're telling people not to bring access to your crypto while you're in Vegas. You know, don't bring it to the room. Don't bring it in a ledger. Don't have it in your stock, you know, or whatever it is. We are concentrated in one place, and we don't like that as far as the security profile.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think people should go. I mean, unless you're like cool with it, people knowing who you are and everything. I don't even think you should have your wallet addresses in your staker app. Like, I don't like. I mean, like
burner phones. People have taught.
Yeah, I have,
bringing
exactly.
burner phones.
Yeah, I have a burner
I'm bringing
phone.
my work phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm not
exactly.
bringing my actual phone.
Yeah, so
be careful.
That goes. I hope that it happens before at least the beginnings of the phase, before the 24th or whatever it is, 23rd. But if it doesn't, then I'll have to wait until the 29th or when I have access to the answer.
Yep. I'm mostly ready though, so a day is probably pretty. I don't need tons of time.
Yeah, and the same thing, like, part of my entrance into, if I was closed on real estate already, then I would be in a liquid position in dollar, and I would be participating with that buy pressure into the sacrifice. But if it's not available, then I am okay with HEX being part of the sacrifice, because I will buy back the HEX, even if I have to buy at a higher price. And if it is a percentage of your HEX, you're really kind of benefiting yourself anyway. In some ways, you have to look at it for yourself and do your own analysis. So if you say 5% of your HEX stake, your HEX holdings, or 2%, or whatever you feel comfortable with as far as sacrificing for politics, buying it back at a future price is okay to me, because if it is sacrificed, it's sequestered and it doesn't come back into the marketplace anyway. It does shrink the pool. It does shrink the supply. So I'm okay with that, because it helps the narrative in general of the remainder of my bag. So I am willing to put HEX into the sacrifice for me, simply because I don't have at the moment access to additional funds that are in dollar term that convert into new Pulse or new HEX to throw into Pulse at the last second. So I don't know what everybody else is looking at as far as their strategy, but that's part of mine.
I mean, I'd like some Hexicans probably out there should consider, that might not have considered the sends donation situation to be an option, that they may have to, this is a lot of appreciation and value that we've seen in a short amount of time. And, I'm not sure what their, how their accountants, feel about their balance books or anything else, but, somebody might be able to use that to a benefit of themselves, donating to the sends. I'm not opposed to that way if you do have some fiat and you're looking for some sort of taxable donation, right off. But yeah, I mean, I also, the HEX is the other thing too. Like I've been pretty straightforward before, that like during the run up, I've played around with, some other garbage out there. And now I do not play around with all that other garbage. I was happy to turn it into HEX at a much lower price. And that HEX will be sacrificed. Like most of the HEX that I was planning on sacrificing came from either external funding sources or other crypto, goofiness that I was a part of. So like I'm happy with my HEX bags, but I'm happy to sacrifice some of what I turned into it. I mean, hey, it's up a whole bunch since just, when we were telling you all about it on the stream, a month ago, like, hey, this is probably
1.5 cents, 2 cents.
we were very, very clear. And like, I was involved with, I was, being diligent, because I mean, if you remember each of those streams, I was like, Richard, tomorrow, let's do it tomorrow, man. Let's do it. So now we've gotten close to Vegas. Hey, man, it could be tomorrow, but hopefully not Thursday through Saturday. It's
right. And keep in mind, people that are in this preparation phase, and that they are moving from real world assets into something convertible into crypto, convertible into HEX to participate, all that stuff. That's some of that is an inertia to overcome, the logistics, right?
Yeah.
The release of funds by centralized exchanges or whatever it might be, right? So keep in mind. I have heard people think that there's going to be a HEX dump. If there is, there's still buy pressure in the wings waiting, right? I personally will be putting significant funds into buying after the phase, after the donation and sacrifice is over, whether it's in Pulse or more HEX or whatever, because I won't have dollar release in time to participate in the same level that I would want to. So you're going to see buy pressure. It will be countering the narrative that there's going to be a dump in Ethereum HEX versus Pulse HEX or whatever. So
well, that's totally true, Gary, and it's not something else that like people don't really think about or recognize that like, man, we're talking about high level speculation. We're sacrificing to make a political statement that we prefer lower fees. Okay, that is how we're getting coins. I mean, now if you're like a large entity or somebody who doesn't know, hasn't experienced HEX before, you're like, whoa. You might like a lot of what he's saying. You might like the free airdrop stuff. You might like less of fees. You might like fee burning. You might like a lot of the stuff that that is going into Pulse. But you might not like the way that he's like launching. You might not have your own thoughts on it. So like I have a firm belief that there's going to be a lot of people that are very interested in getting into Pulse after the sacrifice phase because they're like this is all a very unsure thing to them. And some people don't like crypto at all because it's super volatile, you know, and now you're talking about volatility coupled with complete speculation, you know. I mean, it's a recipe for some people to just sit on the sidelines cautiously, but maybe get in afterwards, you know. And I mean, and like you said, Gary, there's also several people out there that cannot just access large amounts of what they would like to access like that, you know. That's just not it doesn't, you know, not all markets are as liquid as cryptocurrency, you know. It's
I spoke directly with co-founder of a top 10 crypto, top 10 on CMC, and I spoke yesterday. And he believes that HEX is the reason that the mini bear stopped. The mini bear, that HEX is directly the reason. He didn't participate in HEX. He's not a Hexican yet, but he's like, man, HEX really turned the tide with Uniswap, with the narrative, and stifled the bear, right? That would have been earlier than it is now. So you're seeing people that have been paying attention. They may not be advocating because obviously they had their own bags. He's co-founder of a top 10, but he's going to be participating in Pulse. And he's asking me, how does he do Pulse? I said, well, the smartest way that a lot of us are doing is we are buying HEX because you might have price appreciation. If you just want to donate your own currency, more power to you.
And Gary, I mean, that's like a rather significant statement, really. The first time that I've heard that. I mean, that's quite bold for somebody outside of the community to say something like that. So that's the first I've heard it, obviously, but that's wild.
Yeah. And his pilot is my one of my neighbors in Puerto Rico. So his private pilot for his jet. So, I mean, that relationship, I just talked yesterday.
Yeah, and another thing was I thought was really interesting with your visit with Crypto Coffee was Coffee's story of talking, I think it was to an accountant, and he was like, oh, you know, before we wrap up, you know, let me tell you about HEX. And the guy was like, oh, I already have it. I have the staker app, and I have 5-year, 10-year stakes. And I was like, wow. And he's like, we're everywhere, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that started with just all of us standing in line at Starbucks and conversation, just normal networking kind of conversation stuff. And he was a regular accountant there for real estate related, information, because it was mostly a real estate foundry group. And Pop was talking, and he wasn't doing any kind of sales pitch or anything like that. It's just general relatability. They talked for a solid 40 minutes, probably at the beginning of our conversation. And basically the rest of our weekend, he was always in the wings. And yeah, it came to the end of the conversation, kind of as we've gotten our coffee, about to move off. And Coffee said something about, staked crypto. And the guy pulled out the staker app. The guy pulled out his phone and showed him the staker app and tried to tell him about staker app. I was like, that's funny. This guy's trying to show Coffee staker app. Pretty cool.
That is too cool. So, Maddie, I think when I brought it up the first time, you rug pulled us inadvertently, of course. But are you still there, by the way?
Still here.
Okay. So I asked Gary for his opinion on sacrifice announcement phase beginning. So being one of the key elements / organizers of the HEX Vegas meetup, what would you like to see happen with the timing of that? Would you think it'd be awesome for the announcement to be made at the conference or meetup, I should say, and then give us a date, or as Big Krakowski has said, hey, we're ready to go as soon as Richard makes the announcement. It's on. Do you have any preferences there?
Yeah, I mean, I trust Richard to have some sort of genius plan as usual about the timing of everything. And so I'm kind of just thinking, oh, it'll probably happen at the best possible time, which I'm not exactly sure what it would be, if it would be more about when we hit the top of the dead cat bounce, or if it has to do with something else, right? If it has to do with the feasibility of getting the PulseChain launched shortly thereafter, or who knows, right? Maybe just waiting to see what the HEX price does and looking at some sort of indicator that shows the strength keeps building, and so he keeps letting it build or something. I think that
do you have a personal preference? I mean, personally, I think it would be badass if the announcement was made while a bunch of Hexicans were together in Vegas, and then, in 2 days after everybody's back and Motley has recovered, then it starts. That's my fantasy. But
I need them just Monday once inhibitions and sobriety sets in.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is about it is that, as much as I want it on the top of the, I would love that, we're all a bunch of nerds. So then we're going to devolve the fun party time into dissecting PDF documents about what the hell is going to happen over the next 7 days.
Good point.
I'm not saying that, it might be tough enough to bust us out of our shells to not talk about nerdy stuff for a whole weekend, to begin with. So, throw in that excitement, and I don't know. Like I said, I'm not opposed to it. I just didn't know that's how I was going to spend my weekend in Vegas.
I don't think Richard is going to ruin the meetup by launching Pulse over those 2 or 3 days. I think that he's said obviously publicly that he is willing to promote the meetup even if he can't attend, and so I think that's the case, that he wouldn't put us at any certain disadvantage. Although, I mean, I wouldn't rule it out, you can see me going back and forth. I just know that there's plenty of other things to worry about, on my end. Other than, I mean, and to speak to your point too, yeah, because there's a lot of preparation that's gone into this, and then I'm out here setting up my first shell corporation, which apparently can't happen in less than a week. So, it's for me, yeah, I'm okay with it waiting a little bit.
All right, so
different than most crypto groups. I mean, there's more entrepreneurs, more people that understand, building long-term value into a business, participating in this thing. And so Maddie, obviously going through his due diligence and research is better than the average guy that's playing Plinko and says, hey, where's this going to land for me in crypto, right? So very cool.
Yeah, so one of the other points I wanted to bring up, and this in my very brief note set that Motley never reads, is the first of all, let's just get commentary on the stream yesterday, which personally, as I was watching it, for someone new and coming in or being aware or first made aware of HEX or PulseChain, I think that was one of the absolute best streams that Richard has ever done. Just in terms of information sharing, and not just him, but Gentlemen of Crypto for running it the way he did. He let him talk. They asked questions. Let him answer. It was great. And I typed in the comments. I was like, this is like, I've been waiting for a stream like this, that it's one that I can send to someone as an onboard potential. If you want questions answered and all the hard and hard questions, the stuff that you don't think about, it was covered in that stream, and I just thought it was outstanding. So we'll just start there, I guess. Kurt, your thoughts on that stream yesterday?
It's fantastic. I mean, yeah, it had a lot of great nuggets of information. I mean, it's funny to see, other, like I watched it from, because like Richard didn't start on his, it wasn't like live on his, so I was watching it from the other, from their chat, and like to see people's like mixed opinions, and like I've been in a lot of Richard chat rooms, so like it was good to see some people recognizing in real time some information, other people just hating hard, It was great. It was great. I thought that was all good. Those dudes did their best job to take questions that from the chat, and then also make sure to give it back in the set, like they let even if it was a question that was asked before, Richard still kind of was willing to deal with it in a easy to manage way and give the information. And there was and man, that dude must have said you're right like 40 times or something like that in the stream. It was a lot. He was just like, yeah, you can't argue with you there, because it's pretty hard to argue with Richard. And that dude knows his shit. He's been around the block in crypto for a while. Like the relatability that they had on past events, hard fork, all that kind of stuff. User the Bitcoin Cash fork, all that kind of shit was like, the SegWit 2x, that when they talked about that stuff, like I said, he was impressed with Richard's knowledge, was happy to ask good questions, and at the end of it, I think that it's not too much for people to watch that stream and really be like, it's for a couple hours of their life and get a lot of value out of it. There's some stuff in there that I was like, man, I learned some shit. Yeah. So.
Well, that's the difference between one of these public streams where both parties are open-minded, quote unquote, open-minded, because a lot of people come in with a preset bias with complete ignorance, but they just want to shut down the first thing that they think is correct, and they think the other person is making an incorrect statement. So when you come in open-minded and you give people enough rope, they can hang themselves, they can explain themselves. And I thought it was a great rapport. A lot of people, they heard the Miami in the conversation, but that is Miami. That's really what a lot of Miami conversation is like, honestly. And it was excellent. I thought it was excellent. And when we see these streams, it's great to see 1,500 people or something watching live Richard's side of the stream. But you should participate and get a good. If you don't join the other side, like Kurkowski did, I did also, and try to be in a position of helpfulness instead of creating controversy in that other person's stream. You will get more receptiveness if you're not an asshole. Honestly, I've sold people in other people's streams on the idea of HEX or looking into HEX or do your own research about HEX when they would have been shut down just because I said, you're a fucking retard or whatever, I don't have to be caustic in someone else's and end up getting blocked. It's the same thing with Twitter. Like I'm not a pushover, but I typically don't just cause controversy for the hell of it,
Well, there's times and places for that all, like Richard was very aggressive with that Maxi dude the other day, Jay, because that dude has a very preconceived notion and a cognitive dissonance and like what his belief system. And so like you can't, that is something that, you can see why after dealing with that kind of stuff, you're like, no, Bitcoin is not going to do all these magical things. It's just, it's a level of insanity that, he has to be dealt with somewhat aggressively. So there's times for it, but that was not like that stream. There's no need for it because those dudes were entirely open-minded and have been around the block a few times to have played in crypto to know that there's value in like it's not just one thing or the other. So yeah, that was great. I mean, it really was one of the better streams to date, where of like full-on deep dive with good questions about the market, about HEX, about Pulse, about really everything that you could possibly want. And man, the thought that like the way that Richard was concise about answering a question, even when things kind of got like, some questions have a lot of nuance to them, the answers have a lot of nuance to them. So like they walk down a path and then they'd be like, okay, on to the next thing. And he's like, no, let me finish this. Let me finish. I'm almost done here, but like, let's get to let's finish the walk. And like that really like was awesome, because there's been a lot of times where he hasn't been able to put the there's the bow for you. All right, there it is, and like, it's way nicer when someone gives him the room to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best thing for me was just the community actually going over to their stream, like you guys kind of touched on already. I know Crypto King kind of led the charge on that, but when we actually get a good stream, a good YouTube account, social media, whoever's doing the interview, go over there and reward them for doing a good interview. Give them their highest viewer count. Give them comments. Go help in the section, just like Gary was saying. Be kind. Answer the questions. Counter some of the points if they bring up objections, but do it respectfully. And subscribe to him. If you like the guy's interviews that so much, show that there's a net benefit for both sides of coming on and doing a stream with Richard. It's not all just about hater bashing and everything like that. When we do get good interviews, go over there and reward those guys. Go out there, subscribe to them, go in their channels, give them their higher viewer count they ever had, and we'll start to get more and more of those interviews. And that builds, it reciprocates upon itself. So that's something anyone can do, whether you're a streamer or you're just a Hexagon or anything like that. Get out of your ecosystem. We can all hang out and have fun in Richard's chat, but go to the other stream where those guys, they have a whole new community that we don't necessarily interact with, and go help them out, go boost their numbers, and show them, hey, it's a net positive to come on, talk to Richard Hart, and check out this new cryptocurrency coming out, and to talk about HEX.
Yeah, and shout out to Overwatch, which Brand mentioned there just real quick, because that was really cool. And to your point, Motley, going on another channel, I mean, not everyone has to donate or anything like that, but, give them the views, give them the likes. But really cool move by Overwatch as well for doing that. That's exactly what you were speaking to there. Sorry, go ahead, Maddie. I think it was you.
Have you guys noticed that HEX mints its own influencers, and it's not dependent on a structure that already exists where people sell their souls to the middleman exchange that's trying to promote whatever they're getting paid to list. So I think when we look at Richard's behavior and look at the context of this interview, I think that there are two things that are changing. I think one thing that is changing is the influencers are tired of waiting, the existing ones. They've been watching from the sidelines, and they're buying into HEX themselves because they're realizing that they're not going to get any for free, and it's not going away, and they're missing out. There's only so much they're willing to miss out on when they see a good thing building. And I'm talking about the community, and I'm talking about the contract. The second thing that we know is that, really part of the first point is Richard hates cheap HEX. And that includes being cheap about HEX by the founder giving it away to people who don't deserve it, or to people who maybe are part of an existing power structure that needs to be replaced, right? Or at least balanced out a little bit. And then the second point, this is, I guess, my own theory, but there was an interview that Richard did with Hexologists, and it was a one-on-one. And one of the things that Richard mentioned is that it's okay to have a bad website early on, because that's what certain bigger investors look for, to know that they're early. So I think that Richard, keeping the HEX website not as good as it could have been for a while, and then slowly making it better, I think that could be, seen again in the sense that, he's done a lot of interviews that were controversial, And I predict now he'll do more and more that are slam dunks that people, like you said, that people can share to more people. What are your guys' thoughts on all that?
I love what you had to say about it. That makes me think about how smart Richard is, and like the website thing. It's really interesting that you say that, because like, man, he could hire a website developer that can crank out a million awesome templated websites in a second. But instead, he waited until and he even said, like, you want a better website, make it, and waited until somebody came along and did that, and worked really hard, to put together a better website. But it wasn't it wasn't by any means in a hurry, and it could have been something that he could have worked on, and he's even said, like, it could be done a million times over, so yeah, I mean,
he doesn't even make thumbnails yet. Like, I made one of his thumbnails the other day. And so we're seeing progress, whether it's intentional or whether it's natural, either way, I think we're, we've got a lot more things to come that will help with the virality of everything. I think there's a lot building.
Yeah, I mean, Richard even those two dudes on stream, Richard yesterday was like, yeah, I'm over here doing the watch thing, and the guy's like, yeah, I don't want to have to do that, but it's how you get the followers and the likes. And he's like, yeah, man, what works? Like, they're both of them piercing through the moment and being like, yeah, I see what you're doing and it makes sense, get it, trust.
And the fallback narrative is a hexagon made the website. That's it wasn't a slick hired out agency. It was a hexagon. And I like that. I like that community narrative. I like that what you just said about it being a little bit wonky early on and then seeing it polished later on. It is one of the things that VC and angels look for. You look for the crux of what is the minimal viable product, what is the minimal service, what is this thing. It doesn't have to be super polished. Even the people that started super large YouTube channels, if you look at their content when they first launched, it was streaming from their phone. It was horrible thumbnails, but it was a relatability, and it was the content that grew the audience. And then later you can see that development into a polished scenario. So I think that Maddie's right on.
100%. 100%. You got to leave the shark, like in Shark Tank, you got to leave the shark some like meat on the bone for them to do something. Or if you're like, oh, I already got a kick-ass marketing. Oh, I got kick-ass suppliers. Oh, I got this budget already done. Oh, I got this. They're like, why the fuck are you here? Like, why? What do you need from me? So like, it'd be much better to like have them be like, have reason to be here, to be involved, to be like, oh, I can help make this better too.
Yeah, and every other influencer in the crypto narrative on YouTube, they're paid by exchanges. They are paid for people that enter the grinder. All of this is volunteerism. Everything that I do over the weekend, the money that I spend, the money that Kirkowski spends, these are volunteeristic efforts. Same thing with Maddie has a certain cost basis for putting together, 200 people visiting Las Vegas and causing trouble or whatever, right? So we have certain things that we have to do just to be reasonable and show that it's value add, but it's an amazing community, and you don't see that in the influencer space in general on YouTube.
You don't see that in most other things in general, period. I mean, I've done a lot of music festivals and a lot of other things. I mean, like people and a lot of community building in different places, and most of the time there's a buck to pass at somewhere along the way, and I mean, I've worked a few events before that were really special because everyone did donate all of their time and all of their money and energy and effort to make it happen. And those are the things that, like, you'd never they're truly memorable experiences because everybody did it for the love of the game, and that's really what we have going on here. I mean, there's a pump your bags mentality to it too, but I mean, like, that's none of that was guaranteed early on, none of that was, it was all on us.
Yeah, we're paid by pumping our own bags, which I really see it kind of as a pay it forward mentality too. And so you're paying value forward to yourself, your future self, and to others, just like we got value from other people who did the same. 100%.
I mean, like, that's how many times I can't tell you how many times I've onboarded somebody and it's taken a while, it takes a couple calls or whatever, Zoom calls and this and that. And they're like, what do I owe you for this? And I'm like, nah, nothing. You'll get me back one of these days. It's all good. Like, trust me, it'll all work out just fine. It's like, you're already doing it, so. I
was going to say another shout out real quick to Motley Investor who does similar stuff. Thank you both, Kirk and Motley, for doing what you do because,
thank you guys.
Volunteering basically, funds and stuff like that, or Ethereum, something as simple as that, just to help people along. It's amazing.
I think your mic came unplugged, Cabana.
Yeah, you might have to plug it back in. But yeah,
sorry.
There, it's perfect.
Did you lose me?
No, we had you. It just got a little loud for a second, but you're good.
My bad. But yeah, thank you.
I agree. I appreciate it, man. I thank you, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, it's obviously paid off super dividends for everybody involved. I can't think of one person that I've onboarded to HEX that's been like, oh, you asshole.
It's nothing but thank yous and gratitude. It's just like a small fraction of probably what Richard receives on a daily basis. It's a good feeling, and you can't pay for that kind of stuff.
No, man, you can't.
And so there's this stakeholder mentality. It's almost like we're shareholders in some sort of decentralized cryptocurrency, autonomous organization that's never existed before.
It's exactly what it is, Maddie.
True.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Hit the nail on the head. John, it's the 24th, right, Maddie?
Yes.
Yeah, 24th.
Go to hexagon.vegas to learn more.
The whole itinerary is there.
Outstanding.
All right, yeah.
So I started to get into this, but we got off on another tangent, which this show directs itself, which is awesome. So Motley, you had talked about one of the most important points that I think you and I have been listening for, and our ears are waiting for something, any hint. And 45 to 60 days, I heard that a couple streams ago. Do you think the sacrifice phase will be sped up from the supposed 33 days, whatever it was, to something shorter? Just, pure speculation, because that's what we like to do here, informal but informative. What do you think about that?
Well, if he's got, it really comes down to timing, and I think he's probably starting to look at the market and probably trying to find the optimal time to release it during the market with everything dying. Like if we're really heading towards a short-term bear market for this year, he might be trying to launch it in a particular window that he sees fit. So it might come down to seeing how the market reacts over the next month or so. But he did say 45 to 60 days. So if we're still saying the sacrifice phase is 30 days, that gives us about 15 to 30 days for it. And I think he might shorten it. Honestly, I think the volume phase might go from, I think he said anywhere between 3 to 7 days. I think he might bump it down to 3 days. And I think after that, it inflates like around 4%, he said, per day. I think he might only do like a couple weeks and then launch PulseChain, because I think at this point, once he figures out exactly when he wants to release stuff and he gets everything tied up, I think he's going to be more geared up to get up and go, essentially. So I think, if anything, there's a good chance that he might actually shorten the sacrifice phase.
I think so too. I think it's basically, like he says all the time, that the devs that are working on the PulseChain side versus the sacrifice side, whether that's just like humoring us on the delay. But I don't think he wants to have a big gap, maybe a week or something like that from the end of the sacrifice until the airdrop and the participation of the launch of the fork, right? So that's my guess. I think it'd be shorter.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I don't think it'd be too much shorter, but I mean, but maybe a week or two shorter. Maybe a week shorter, like 21 days, maybe.
So not like a week or something.
No, I think it'll still be like more than it'll have to be 2 weeks long at least.
A week's too short. You want to build up that FOMO. You want to you still want to give yourself enough time window to get more eyeballs, get more people to come in and invest, more people to essentially
you're gonna build this whole system.
FOMO. Yeah,
you're building this entire system to take all these different addresses and to like do all this different, like that's time, and it's seeming like for Richard right now that part is taking longer or being a little bit more of a struggle than the actual chain part. So like in that regard, you're gonna struggle through that whole thing and then only have it run for a week. Man, somebody has to create a user interface for it. Somebody's got to create some database on some serious databases on the back end. Like, I mean, I don't think that you're not going to create a little baby like that and then be like, all right, enjoy your week of life and then enjoy being useless. Yeah. I think that you'll be a little bit longer than that.
So
Ethereum's ICO was 42 days. So
42 days, yeah.
30 days is going to be the narrative.
So before that stream, wasn't the narrative that Richard was essentially putting out there that it was actually PulseChain that was lagging behind, like the actual PulseChain itself, and that he's essentially was saying that he can launch the sacrifice.
Well, no, it started. He said could start launch the sacrifice when he wanted to, but they decided to change it.
Last stream.
He just remember he said it was the reason he decided to change it was because and add all the ability to pay from exchanges,
yep,
and pay from a whole bunch of different coins that I don't think they were expecting. That like they've been doing some other coins, so add on, 5 or 10 different coins that have some interesting, wallet structure, and then include every exchange, have some way that, because they're not doing signatures. So they basically changed what they were with the system of how he was doing it. So that takes time. So, I mean,
I'm not
say
sure
a lot.
I mean, it works with the send from an exchange and recipient address. You think that's going to be?
You're going to have, I believe that you're going to have an address it's not going to be one address that you send to. You're going to get an address on your user interface. Like when you connect your wallet or your whatever to it to send your coins, it'll generate like Coinbase. When you send to Coinbase, you get a unique, every time you hit send to Coinbase address, it gives you a new one. If you hit OK and then you go to get that one again, it's a new one every time. So like it would automatically generate each user a specific, address per coin that they're trying to put in. So then from there, it'll know who generated that address to credit that account. That's what I believe. Don't quote me on it. I just have done some of this crypto thing before.
Chat, you're just killing me. It's some of the comments in here, but that's what's to be expected in Vegas, right? Oh my goodness. So any other thoughts on the 60 days? I know I asked Motley, but 45 to 60 days. 21, I really don't think it would behoove any Hexagon or to have like a 7-day. It's short, but it's been floated. We've seen like every possible scenario floated out there. So
too short. I think 2 weeks is the minimum. 2 weeks is the minimum. You can't have anything less than that.
You got too much marketing, too much advertising. You want to get as much economic mass in this as possible for adoption. So you just can't do a week.
Yeah, and that's what I keep coming back to.
I don't see the reason to have it shorter than 30 days total. I don't see the justification. What's the justification?
The only justification would be timing it, or because you don't want to hold on to people's money for too much longer in the interim between the launch of it and Pulse launching, because you really don't want to hold on to
they're, instead of having a falling knife, they're getting credit based on the date that they turn in on the bond.
Yeah, you're right.
Date. So if the market continues to fall and your coin is losing value quickly, why wouldn't you say, I better get into Hex or into Pulse before it loses more value? I think that narrative is going to come out in Twitter.
I mean, the God whale, our Genesis whale friend has been living that narrative daily. He's literally living. Like Richard's like making appeals to him. Hey man, the HEX might be the thing you might want to allocate into. Just saying. No financial advice here, dog. But
that's a great little segue, Kirk, because I wanted to ask you guys about that. What about this Godwell C5 address? It was not really present in that dip, and it was like, okay, it's been supporting price at high levels. It was like above 9 cents, and then some really probably not intelligent sellers came in and dumped their whole bag at a time, sent the price down to like 7 and change cents, and Godwell was not really there as far as I can see. Maybe I missed something, but and then when it came back above 9 cents, Godwell reemerged. So what's everybody's takes on that? Gary, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So has Richard ever said that he wants people to hold on to their coin until they can dump later if their intention is to dump? No, he wants them to dump while it's cheap, while something is cheap. We said that multiple times. It's been over the past year imperative. And if people are going to exit, then let them exit. Get their price. They can see the price come down to 7.5 or whatever the recent price point was. And oh yeah, by the way, now it's 9. So I mean, it's the same thing you've seen for over a year and a half, whether it's Godwell or anybody else. Is you can see drop in price. Crypto is volatile, but if you believe that there's the service or the good that you wanted to buy, why do you consider only the short-term price point as your decision maker?
Well, Godwell might be also testing I agree with that. By the way, and he's also testing the resolve of all the other buyers there too. I mean, he could come in and continue to buy, but let's see what happens. Do we get it? Does Godwell get a 6 cent deal? Is there somewhere that we go lower? Oh no. In fact, without me, if this price moves up very fast still, so. That's telling for him. And so then when we get back to 9 cents, he's like, well, my plan from the start was to buy from this range to this range. And I got the confirmation bias that I needed that if I stop buying, somebody else is going to. So I might as well keep doing what I was doing, at the price range that I was expecting. I told him what he needed to do. That was a smaller, because if you look at our oscillating, the dips that we've had, they're getting smaller in oscillation, the length of time of them happening, the depth of that each dip, all that is getting less, it doesn't last nearly as long. I mean, it's lasting, it's minute, compared for the moment, so I mean, it's a little windy.
That's an excellent point, Kirkowski, about confirming that he's not the price maker. To confirm that someone else steps in, or a group, or a faction, or other hexagons that have been quote unquote, oh man, if it only dips, I'll be a buyer. You hear that shit in every crypto for years. Oh man, if it would only come down to my price point, I would jump right in. And then when it comes down to the price point, that same people are like, no, now it scares me.
I'm bearish. We're going lower.
Yeah, there are some really good comments in the chat. Yeah. I'd like to bring them up here shortly. I'm gonna run out of battery here, so I'm gonna change locations. But if you guys want to, I think everybody's cool with it. We're gonna keep going. I'll come back in about 5-10 minutes. But yeah, this is a great discussion. I think one of the points I wanted to touch on before my battery runs out, hopefully it doesn't. Where did it go? Yeah, so Finbear brought up, and it's funny, it's just the start of the chat here. People were asking, what about, it's a crash, oh my gosh, we went down 20%, and now it's gone. The dip is gone, it's been erased. But imagine if, that rapid rise didn't occur so rapidly. We're still back to that.
We dipped from a 5x while
the
rest of the market has been stayed crashed at around 40 to 60%. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I'll let you guys go with that. I'm gonna drop here in a second, but I'll rejoin here in a few. So thank you guys. I'll rejoin shortly.
So let me jump in and give a couple of thoughts about what you guys have been talking about. So I think that surprises are in the game, And that's because surprises, as long as they help the system and help the community, can be very beneficial. And so I say that very generally, but how I would apply that too is if there is FUD because there's a gap between the end of the sacrifice phase and the beginning of Pulse launching, that'd be a nice opportunity to shake out some weak hands right when the system launches, which could be beneficial to the system. I think that when we look at the God Whales wallet, like, don't for a second think that the God Whale isn't looking at our wallets too, right? And so the ability in HEX to be able to aggregate user behavior and to be able to see things that you would never be able to see in any other market, not only because you see how strong people's hands are when they're trading, not on centralized exchanges that hide their true form, but and their data, and then they sell that data to people who rig the market, right? That's not happening. And then you also can see people's staking behavior. So you really probably with AI and with simple psychology and statistics, there are probably people out there, or there will be soon, who are able to understand very deeply this market better than any other market that's existed. And so they're probably going to trade off that behavior too. They're probably going to do double bluffs and stuff, right? To, again, because when a whale uses different accounts to, dump the market and then act like it's not buying the, those same coins right back up, what that does is it not only provides cheaper coins for all the people who are willing to take the bait, and buy into the FUD or buy into the emotional swing of the price, but it's also giving them the opportunity to shake out those weak hands that would sell at higher prices. And so they're building a stronger long-term position for themselves.
Yeah, that's the point I was making earlier. Yeah, exactly. And Richard has promoted that and told that. He says, when do you want people out? You want them out if they are, going to sell. Wouldn't you want them to sell when it's low? Wouldn't you want them not to cause sell pressure? And if they didn't build community, they weren't part of the structure and narrative all along. That's why he doesn't like airdropping to exchanges or to third parties that have no vested interest, or even if you're going to fork, people dump forks. Why? Because it's free money to them. They don't have to have any buy-in, right? So yeah, I think it's a normal oscillation.
Yeah, it just goes to his tweet that he put out earlier today. What's 10 cents on your way to $100? Like, it's pretty. Yeah, exactly. Big K. That's a pretty bullish tweet there, right? Like,
Yeah,
in the grand scheme of things, we've always had a long-term perspective, and even OGs have to take a step back and realize where we're going. Like, yes, 10 cents is life-changing money for a lot of us, and we probably got here a lot sooner than most of us thought. But then you still have to take another step back and put yourself in like a new perspective, especially if you've been here since day one. Just like, this is still just fractions of where we're going to be in the future. So you really got to keep that in mind. Anytime when you think about going to take profits or anything like that, just think about what that's going to cost you in the future. That Rolex, that $10,000, $20,000, $40,000 Rolex could be millions of dollars just within a short year or two. So do you really need the Rolex now, or can you postpone making that purchase, and maybe you only have to scrape a fraction of your interest down the road to get that Rolex, as opposed to a good portion of your bag now?
That's one reason that I like the commentary that Motley makes and made before HEX was a thing about, buy cash producing assets. If you're going to buy something, have the cash flow finance your lifestyle. If you want to understand leverage and finance, I don't want people to get harmed by credit, but why do you sell something that is the highest appreciating, fastest growing crypto in order to buy your fancy car? Why? Why do you have to do that? You really don't if you are in America, because it is such a financed world. And again, if you pick up business savvy and you buy things that you can depreciate over time, such as real estate that you're renting out and you're cash flowing, there's all kinds of structures where you can 4x or 5x your conventional money and still live the lifestyle that you want to live, have the things and material or services that you want without having to sell your your golden goose.
True story.
Facts.
Don't do your best not to sell your hex. I think I'm looking at a $7,800 keyboard set right here at current market value. So if you're thinking, hey, I should sell my hex for something stupid.
Yeah, I actually paid a hexologist $50 to make a thumbnail for me a year and a half ago, and I paid him in hex. And that's the most expensive thumbnail in history.
Now, are you guys going to be gambling any money in Vegas, or are you going to save all of your money for these productive assets such as Hex and Pulse?
This bandana's got stacks. I'm going to come and play some games.
Yeah, I might do the martingale thing on roulette, but that's about it.
I might join you on that, Gary. I always like doing the martingale for a little bit.
I like playing a little roulette. I like playing a little craps. I like playing. I mean, if it's a poker, I love, but it's just a lot of time, and so it's like real fucking commitment.
Like
everything else we can.
People that I know, I would like to have a poker with core hexagons. That would be fun, and you can get a private room, and we could
stream it too.
That would be a good stream. That would be a good 2 hour long. Just like a quick.
We could do an hour game.
Hour game. Like raise the blinds every 5 minutes and just make it happen quick. I'd play that.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah,
that's fun because it's bonding, and it's just like playing when people play golf and they're business deals where they're playing golf and they're betting on a hole or whatever. It's the same sort of thing. You're leveraging a lot of things at one time.
Make it happen, Maddie. Yeah. We need a poker room reserved now.
Consider it done.
I'll get my people on it.
Hell yeah.
Worst case, we could come up with some. I was about to say we could come up with some janky thing in someone's room, but
I mean,
it's official, and you can settle in cash or in hex. And then you can say, man, that guy got my hex when it was only 10 cents. Fuck, it's all kinds of things you can put with the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could probably do something with that. I'm down for it.
Yeah, I like it. I'm already putting it down in the notes here. Let's see what we can do. See what we can do, guys. Yeah. So, anyways, if that answers your question, yes, yeah, sure. Let's do this. I mean, here's the thing about Vegas is that are we gonna make waves going through Vegas, telling everybody, hey, we're part of the largest appreciating asset of the best appreciating asset of the past 2 years, but we're not really spending any money here. We're just kind of saving everything for later, because that's the responsible thing to do, here in Vegas. That's what it's all about here, right? In Vegas, is responsibility, making the right choices, not being over the top.
I think there will be both types. I support people having different attitudes about that, right? Because there are people who it's gonna be a stretch for them to come and get the kind of same opportunities that people who are early in Hex got. So yeah, I hope that
you're right, Maddie. You're way to be a poet.
I hope that some people become the perfect example for future people to not squander their opportunity. I don't hope that. I don't hope that.
People.
I like it.
If we're gonna shake out weak hands, let's shake them out.
Let's do it at the craps table, y'all.
Social signaling. I mean, part of it is social signaling. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. Kiyosaki has a jet, a Lear jet that he trades out every 2 years. It's part of his social signaling. Trump puts his name on everything. It's part of social signaling. We tend to listen to people that have the things or the lifestyle that we want. And if they never display it, and they're always the hermit that lives inside of a middle class home. There was this guy. Do you remember The Godfather? So Hyman Roth lived in Miami. He made a deal, right? He's going to be in control of a lot of Cuba. He lived underneath the radar, and only people that knew that he was powerful. I think that there's value to brand. I think there's value to building a business that throws off cash. A lot of us have done that already, regardless of if HEX ever existed or crypto ever existed. So to show that, you have some display of wealth, I don't think is harmful. If it does get into the public and they think, oh, it's only because he sold his HEX gains. Well, again, you're in this eventually to exit as well. There's all kinds of people that already comment about Bitcoin from 2014 when they sold Bitcoin and they bought a Lamborghini, and they do the math and they say, wow, that was a $12 million Lamborghini. I shouldn't have done that, right? There's a lot of people that already have that woe of regret. So you can explain yourself, and people are open-minded to hear why you have the things that you have.
So maybe I can ask another question. So is the amount that you guys are thinking of gambling, is it dependent at all on the HEX price? So would you gamble more if the HEX price went up a lot, or would you gamble more if it went down? Or
my only liquid,
I bring a set number usually.
Liquid is exactly what goes into Pulse. I don't have any. I've never sold HEX.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like selling my HEX gains right now to go toss stacks around. That's not exactly the game.
Just slap a ledger on the table.
I'm just curious about. I'm curious about the mood. I'm curious about the mood.
But
But
I mean, you got to understand that, like, I mean, the mood is what it is. So, like, if HEX is hitting all-time highs and some Hexkins are talking about cashing out and tossing down stacks, then who can be upset? Can someone be upset about that? No, because like we're at all-time highs. You should feel still, you should be making amends with your own self in your own head for selling that HEX, because obviously, but like if HEX from now until Thursday does an 80% dip, then people are gonna be like, yo, dog, who's sold to come to this party? Somebody sold to come to this party. I just see it on the chart right there.
They better invite me to their penthouse too.
So like, I mean, yeah. So that's
in the wings, ready to buy.
No, yeah, and then there's Hexicans who are sitting at home wishing they could be in Vegas, can buy that dip super hard and get a better win than Vegas will ever be. So like that's so like there's opportunity at every corner, and that might happen. I mean, like, hey man, have you ever timed the market to those consensus, or the Bitcoin the big ones that they do in Miami every year? I mean, like, whenever they do those, the market doesn't do well. It's not like, I mean, those people that are balling out in Miami didn't not sell their Bitcoin to come out there and party. I mean, that's what happened. So
I personally love seeing everyone, especially on crypto Twitter, showing off their like HEX gains. Like I saw a guy buy his mother a car. I saw another couple just bought a house. I know another couple that got a new truck, got a new camper. Like someone else got another camper to go travel. Like it's cool. It's awesome. It's over the past year and a half. Like, I mean, enjoy yourself. If you want to take some gains and treat yourself, I mean, by all means, just realize what the opportunity cost is. And like Gary said, there's ways to actually borrow against stuff where you don't even need to touch them. But either way, if that's your decision, by all means, enjoy it. And it's been really cool because I've seen a lot of selfless stuff on Twitter as well. Just people using their gains for like buying someone's mom a car. Like that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a super horn tutor over here, but like, all the goofy shit that I've bought from Louis Vuitton here or whatever. Like, as soon as I got home, I donated a whole bunch of money to charity, to like about half of what I spent to charity. To like, I was like, all right, I feel a little better balancing that out. Cool. It's like, I mean,
look at that Milgauss right now. Look at that Milgauss.
Yeah, half of that went straight to charity. It's like that's the way I feel pretty comfortable about doing goofy stuff like that. Because yeah, you're right, it is social signaling. Yeah, it is, like, to me, there's a silliness to it, but also an enjoyment factor to it. But I also don't feel like I should, if I can spend the money on that kind of stuff, then like I think that I should also be considering the back end of it too. So I try to make sure that there's some, and it's not, like I said, I'm not horn tooting, and I'm not gonna, like, I don't bring that up all the time or anything, but whatever. I think it's something I do like seeing everybody care as much as they can and be as excited as they can. I've talked to several Hexicans in private chats, and they've been like, man, the good that I can do, like, that's what they're concerned with, is like the good that I can do with this is incredible. That's awesome. I mean, it's a force. Money is a force multiplier. Richard says it all the time.
One of the ideas that I've had is that, I mean, in gambling, there's these really high margins. You know, like there's about a third that goes to the operator and a third that goes to the state in some cases, and then a third goes to like fund all of the degeneracy and entertainment that happens. And so, if in the future, if people in HEX such as myself build gambling games where you, instead of losing to external sources, you lose to your future self, the money gets time locked. That would be pretty cool. I think that you could increase if zero fees were taken, right? Because that's what T-Share app is doing. 0 fees. We don't get anything. We're pumping our own bags. That's enough. And so yeah, I think that would be really cool because you can make the games even more addictive and rewarding, but you could also take all of the money and give it to the person who is obviously one in the entertainment, but then, you know, all the money ends up going to the house in the end, right? So a gambling game you can win.
You think the app's going to be done in Vegas? Are you still on
Yes.
track? Cool.
Nice.
Excited for it.
That part's just an idea, but the part of having something to onboard from fiat to T-shares in under 3 minutes and eliminating some of the complexities of HEX for the people who aren't ready yet, but they have 3 minutes and they have $50 and they want to play a 15-second game.
It's pretty cool. I dig it. I'm very excited.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's gonna be lots of stuff there's gonna be all sorts of stuff to talk about in Vegas. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, again, these people, I mean, over this time, all of us are building relationships, right? Long-term relationships. Obviously, we might be 10, 15 years staked. We might have a narrative and we like center points of information being Richard, that kind of stuff. We like the code, we like the product. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff that leverages about relationships, you know, trustworthiness and things like that. So, yeah, I've gotten, like I comment all the time, I've gotten more from the knowledge that Richard has shared and from the cohorts of people in HEX than just the gains of the product appreciation.
I mean, that can't be stated enough. That can't be stated enough, man. The knowledge that I understand about this market, it preceded, I mean, like a lot of that started preceded HEX. Like once I, you know, was able to open my mind up enough to see what I had been missing, you know. So yeah, it's been an incredible learning journey, you know. And then all the other stuff, like stuff you've taught me, Gary, stuff you've taught me, Maddie. I mean, like there's all sorts of stuff to learn, man. And then like things that I peripherally learn through the community that I would have never like experienced myself. Like I'm not going out and looking for that information, but now that I have it, I'm like, what was I doing without it? You know? So.
Hey, I think I'm gonna close. I've got some things I need to make some calls, but
yeah, I was about to say I actually am getting the.
Let's all just run Cabana. it'll literally just be his stream up and running and no one in it. We could just hang out in the chats.
I was in the Boy Scouts for a long time, and they say be prepared. So if he didn't bring an extra battery to be on the beach,
yeah, then hey, you know, we might have to.
All right, guys, that's it for HEX Happy Hour. Our host is gone, so feel free to stay in the chat, smash the like, hit the subscribe. Follow Mati Allin at hexagon.vegas so you can get the itinerary. You can follow Funding Gym at his channel. You can follow Big Kakowski. You can follow me, Molly Investor. And yeah, we're out of here, guys, and we're going to leave Cabana just chilling.
from the stream when we're in Vegas, so I'm sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you guys in person later.
Yes, I'm very excited, y'all. It should be awesome.
Bye, guys.
Right. See you guys later. Ciao.
Oh, they ended it.
Oh, no.
Bros, I love you so much. I just came on. Rugged, totally rugged. Awful. So I'm just gonna sit here and talk with chat because the broadcast is still going. Yeah, I see you. Awful. Yeah, cool. Really cool, guys. I appreciate it. Yep, right timing. Yep. Love you all. Anybody want to join the stream? Because I mean, we're still going. Everybody's laughing in chat. Oh my gosh, this is so funny, dude.
Is it still up then?
Oh yeah, we're
right,
still
then.
live.
All
This is gonna be like on the outtakes of HEX bloopers.
Mexicans get weird at Action
Yeah.
City.
Oh, this is brutal. All right, there we go. Motley, my man.
What's up, bud?
Gotta come back. And then I was like, and then boom.
Right,
we may have instigated a rug session. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, man. Chat. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. But we still held viewership, which is awesome. But yeah. So
Yeah.
how did that end anyway?
Oh, it was good. We just pretty much went over everything. So everyone had stuff to go do. So we were dipping out on you. It's like you should have been more prepared and brought a battery pack. So we're like, we'll just all leave, and then he'll just keep streaming with no one in there.
I brought a battery pack for the cell phone that was tethered to the thing, but I didn't have a battery pack for the actual laptop. But
slacking.
I know. But
no, it was a good stream. I'm glad you did it, even if it was from mobile initially.
yeah. And I thought like everybody was like, oh, well, I'm on board. I can stay around for like at least, another 10, 20 minutes. And I was like, come on, man.
You took too long. We got stuff to do. I still
All
gotta
right.
go.
Well,
Go to the gym.
What are you doing tonight?
I'm going to the gym. I'm going to go to the gym, and then I got to finish up one more thing for my TAPS class. And just getting ready for the weekend and getting all my stuff together for Vegas. Make sure I don't forget to pack something at this point.
Nice. All right. Well, I mean, I was going to bring back my buddy BGR.
We got another shotgun or shots?
Yeah, he's going to do a shotgun for everybody for ratings because we're going to come back in style.
I'm sure YouTube loves shotguns.
Go, bro. Here we go. I mean, the record time that this man does this stuff.
That's good.
He's rather amazing.
The man has a talent.
The man has a talent. So.
I hate Miller too. Miller gives me the worst headaches.
Yeah, well, he was saying.
I'm dead serious. I heard a myth from a couple of country boys out our way. A couple of the country boys out here told me that they call this stuff mother's milk. You don't get hangovers from it.
Oh, it's the
I don't know
exact
how
opposite for me.
accurate that is, but I tried it out last night. It seemed to work very well.
It's the exact opposite for me. That shit fucks me up. I can't do it.
I can't be Budweiser, man.
PBR is my trash beer.
Oh, awful.
Had a couple of really bad high school nights on PBR, brother.
Pretty sure most of us have.
All right. Well, I could go for a little bit longer. I know Motley's got to go, but anybody wants to stream our link, I'll send it out. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up. But yeah, man. So how you feeling? Like, when do you leave for Vegas? Before
I'm leaving I think the 24th early in the morning. I was supposed to be getting in Vegas at like 9 a.m. I was going to leave like super early, but they just moved my flight up. So I won't be in Vegas until like around 11 or noonish, somewhere around there. So
Okay.
pretty much planning on checking in and then I guess following up wherever Maddie and all that stuff's going. I think he said Dick's and then the Speakeasy or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time. The Mom Museum thing is something I've always wanted to do. Haven't done it yet, but yeah, bunch of cool stuff.
I've only been
so much stuff to do out there.
I've only been out to Vegas like once, so I'm looking forward to going and doing a lot of stuff that I didn't get to do last time. So it should be fun. I'm gonna be really messed up. It's gonna be a good time.
On game.
Well, all right.
Good
So
times.
I'm just trying to get my date straight. So I mean, we're just shooting the shit online, planning. Hexkins can watch as we do the shit live and unscripted. So you're getting in? You said 24th?
Yeah, 24th. So that should be Thursday.
Okay,
Thursday,
so you have
right
no idea what
morning.
your plans are for Friday or anything like that. I mean, I'm going to be on the Gulf Coast, and I want to do the same thing we did out here. in Florida for the next few weeks as well. So
Right.
if you're not available, I totally understand, bro. But
no, I'll probably do it from the phone, even if it's for a short bit. I'm just trying to think. I really don't have any set plans. I was going to play it by ear. Essentially, just meet up with the group at first and then figure it out from there. But like the big things, like I'll go to Marquee that night and then have another group that I'm going with to I can't remember the other club for Saturday. And then Sunday is probably going to be like recovery day. So I'll be like weaning off everything. Sunday
dude,
probably
that was
by the
me
pool.
today. I wrecked last night. It was amazing. But yeah,
And
I'm pretty sure I got the vid as well. But
nice.
Yeah, my first time in a mass scene.
got the vid.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, man.
That place was really greasy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And then
But good
after
time.
after Sunday, after I recover a little bit, then Sunday night there's a party, so I'll go to that, and then fly back out Monday and just try to recover again.
Nice.
Drink Gatorade. I usually
Then you
drink it's some sort of like, it's not vitamin water, but something else that usually helps me from a fun night.
Yeah, I got some health tips too, man. I want to do like one stream on that. I think you'd be good for that too. Just like a casual kind of non-hex pulse thing.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
you can bring on Bitfinesse. Bitfinesse knows a lot of stuff. That'd be a good one. Vode hasn't done a stream in a long time, but he's a personal trainer and does a bunch of health and fitness stuff. That'd be a cool themed Hex happy hour for sure.
Yeah. I see Joe Hexotic in chat. I don't want to step on his toes because I love the interviews that he did just for the personalities and backgrounds of Hexicans. But I kind of would like to, maybe do a more Hex or PulseChain or crypto specific kind of just chat like we're doing right now with some Hexicans. I don't know if, put it in chat if you guys are out there, if you guys are interested in that, just like casual conversations. Because some of those streams are some more of my favorite chats, like Barely Crafty and Litecoin, Super Hex Jesus, whatever his dollar cost. They had a great one a long time ago. What is it? Him and Markable had one 2 weeks ago. I just really, I just love it, and it's like casual. It's not not going to get views. I don't really care about all that stuff, but everybody okay.
Just take a break from crypto. Joe, I'm still waiting for you to stream again. You told me you would start streaming when you got set back up, and I know you're all set back up now. So where are those streams? Literally zero streams from you, bud.
He's like the inspiration partial for that, because I wanted to do what he was doing, like kind of like the background and learn like the people behind this community, because if we're in this together for so long, it was I love those segments, man. It was a pleasure to be interviewed by him, and I know so many people got to talk to him, and I learned so much about kinetics and Randy and everybody. It was Serena. It was so cool. So I love like that background info, but just more like crypto talks with someone like you, or your background, how you got into it, how you got into Hex, and everything, man. It's such a cool thing. The thing is now though is like there's so much content now, and with the Discord syndicate starting up with the network, it's like, where does that fit into a time slot? Because we already have our happy hour slot.
You just gotta stream. Like at this point, there's too many streamers. There's just too much stuff going on. There's no set time slot anymore. It's just too much. We were talking about the other night. Like it's almost impossible now to stream and not overlap with somebody. So like no one's gonna take offense to it. No one's gonna take it personal. It's just stream. It's fine. It's just fun, right? Like you're doing that one for fun anyways. So it's just a good one-on-one stream. Yeah, evidently Joe made too much money, so that's why he doesn't stream for you guys anymore. So
thanks, Joe. We got rugged.
Joe essentially just said he's sold out on you guys. Listen, Joe, the way you posed the story to me at first, I was like, I don't know, and then after I saw what you did, it was really cool. But start up your show again, and I'll do it, because I miss you doing your shows for sure.
Were you ever on like one of his interview shows?
Yeah. No, I told him I told him I was good the first time, and he holds it against me to this day.
Nice. Yeah, I was supposed to be on with Gary like right before he had a lot of business and travel to do, so I missed out on that one. That would have been a really fun conversation just in terms of business and crypto in general. So, but it was really cool talking to Joe about life and man, it was a cool chat. So I'd love for him to bring those streams back with like the personal backgrounds of people, and I'd love to do one with more of the crypto kind of thing. So now I'm kind of got my wheels turning. So
it's just fun. It's enjoyable. That's all. I mean, honestly, it's the only reason like I still do these. It's just because I have fun with you guys, and like that's why this is one of my favorite ones too. It's just as enjoyable to me like going on to the Nights of Crypto and hanging out with Dollar Cost and Wasabi and Coffee and Brand and everyone like that. And we can talk about crypto, but then we can also just talk about stupid shit too. And like, you can watch if you want to, but you might have to endure us talking about Dragon Ball Z or some anime or something random Pokemon or some stupid
shit,
NFTs.
I'm like, what? Where is this going?
Chat, baby.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's gonna be some stories after Vegas too. So that's probably gonna be the topic for the next couple weeks.
BGR is like should be a stream of its own. So
it's gonna be Vegas stories. What's that?
Did you ever do a GoPro? Did you get one?
No, I didn't do a GoPro. I have a camera where I can just stream from, so I'll do some stuff, but I don't know. I'm gonna be moving around when when I'm having a good time. I tend to wander, so maybe a GoPro would have been best, but I didn't get one.
They think you were a fan.
Viewers, we lost initial viewership. Now it's picking back up at the 2-hour mark because it's still going. So we don't know what we're doing. We're just like hanging out because Kirk left and Maddie left.
Rugged. I spent a lot of my fiat on stupid Versace clothes, so that was in place of the GoPro camera.
So what was it? Toby Wan's comment. Well, what did you think about that? Because I was like, you were like, oh man, that actually makes sense about keeping the
returning it. Yeah, I don't know if I get like I should reach out to him. I don't know if I get like just an in-store credit or if they actually give me my money back. But I went ahead and pulled the receipt out of the trash.
Be like, oh, I just want to look, really nice one day or weekend.
It's all for HEX. I mean, there's a very good chance I'll never wear those clothes after Vegas again. So,
next like conference, man, next year. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Well,
any ideas or thoughts on that?
It'll just be all this. Oh, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be.
Like, I hope Maddie are kind of like in the early phases of it.
Yeah, I hope Richard. Okay. I hope Richard takes over it as well, because I essentially just wanted to and Big K would be good for this and Johnny Chaos is essentially you got to turn it into a freaking music festival, to a freaking rave. Dude. Like I want music, I want alcohol, I want hot women,
I want a roast of Richard Hart. I want that. That would be awesome. I want a live Discourse Syndicate. I want a live happy hour. I want to all the shows, man, on a stage Bitcoin, man.
Bitcoin conferences are boring. It's cryptocurrency is like all these conferences beforehand are boring as fuck. And I just want to go out there and have essentially a freaking rave for our conference and just wild. Yeah, you could do a couple shows and stuff like that.
Bro. He's
exactly.
I'll be a hex kid just for that.
that there's all your adoption right there. Like if you have a good party and everyone sees all the fun you're having, and then just by the way, you can also make insane gains. Like there's all your free advertisement you could ever ask for. It's gonna be a good time.
Oh, it's funny. I love you, chat.
Yeah, there's plenty of freaking HEX music that's already been out there between raps and mixes and everything.
Hey man, we got our own DJ, bro. So
Crypto-matic.
That's right. So oh my gosh, if he do the party and Freddie Quotes would come in and oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, I killed Epstein, said HEX conference like Burning Man.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, just the wilder the better.
Yeah. Yes, your excellence. You've already got your DJ Crypto-matic. Amen, man. Crypto-matic. That's right.
That'd be cool if he gets to host a show live at a conference. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would be cool if it was you get all the shows in there. I would guess it would be like a Thursday through Sunday kind of thing, wherever it would be. Hopefully not in June or July in Vegas.
In Vegas. Yeah, where it's like 200 degrees.
Because I had been there and at that time of year, and I was like, I looked up at the bank thermometer, and it was like 115, and I was like, oh my gosh, man.
The locals don't go out. The locals don't go out during those times. It's that hot. Like, I'm gonna be like running for AC in between venues for sure.
Pretty close is like, I'm so down. Awesome.
Yeah, our actual convention is just gonna be next level for sure.
Yeah, I'm just bullshit now. How do you see that going? Like, would it be like would you see it like in the Vegas thing or like a Florida thing, or like geographically, like the layout, the format? Like I said, just shooting the shit here.
I don't know. I think I kind of like just like the music festival kind of style thing, and like you can really do that anywhere. Just set up your stages, set up your music, set up your speaking events, set up whatever you need to. It's essentially just an open blank canvas, and you can just build it out the way you want to, just depending on what we're doing, what's going on throughout the day. But yeah, whatever we do, I know the kind of people that we have in the community, and I know what Richard would probably have in mind for it, and it would be next level. It'd just be wild, and it would be probably the exact opposite of what you would think of for a cryptocurrency convention.
Yeah, it's got to be its own thing. It's got to break the mold a little bit, and it's
the amount of hate will generate from that.
There's got to be the obligatory for conference speakers, attendees, because some haters are going to show up and be like, what to do when? And then, hater jumps on stage with a Bitcoin t-shirt and tries to do the Doge bullshit. And, it's like, Doge or, Bitcoin.
Just let him just sit there. Right, just exactly. Dead silent. Just let him do his thing and look like an idiot.
Exactly. And then be like, welcome him on the couch and be like, okay, bro, tell us.
Have a seat. Yeah, we're not going to have Peter McCormick come in as security. That's for sure.
Oh, my God. It was awful, dude.
Yep, so Day 43, awful. OG, Booth Babes for sure.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. I'll laugh at the haters. I mean, it would be like the best thing as long as it's, prepared. Booth Babes are always nice. Yes, they are. So.
Look at Finn Bear's comment. I was like, I don't know what Lapland is, but it sounds like a strip club.
I think I've been there in Atlanta.
Is that an actual place?
I'm kidding. So, yeah. Oh no. Okay. Sig Hex. Yep. Yeah. So what about the bikini thing? They
clickbait.
Yeah. Total man. They learned from Richard. It was beautiful. Like, hey, got here, and her in a tailor outfit or something. So yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. There's gonna be plenty of attractive women in Vegas. Papa B's favorite spot.
Well, yeah, it was funny with Gary and Coffee in Miami. And they're like, oh, well, Coffee knows how to network. And then this picture of beautiful women surrounding them or whatever it was. I was like, well done, gentlemen. Well done.
Yeah.
This is how you onboard.
That's all the networking that took place in Miami. There's going to be a lot of that debauchery in Vegas, too.
Yeah, and he said Coffee never showed up the next morning, which I just thought was so on point.
Also standard.
Yeah. Well, as smart as the guy is, and I respect, I haven't hung out with him personally yet, but I just get a feeling he can go, and I would love to I can't wait to go with him, Freddie, you, there's a bunch, man, Kirk, just have at it.
I'm gonna go get fucked up with Coffee for sure. we already got plans.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think so. I think Saturday.
That's why no GoPro has been
yeah, there's too much footage that's probably never gonna see the light of day. So I don't need a GoPro.
The fun chat in the green room, man.
Yeah. Oh, Brand. Yeah, Brand's gonna be out there too. Brand, I want to fuck up Brand. Like I want to get Brand just messed up. Like Brand tries to say his tolerance is good, but like I want to get Brand destroyed.
Oh man, yeah, Freddie quotes, bro. Dude, I can't wait either, man. I mean, we can do it sooner because we're kind of local in the same area, so we need to figure that out just personally sometime this summer, dude.
Yeah. I mean, we've been talking about that for a while. You, me, Freddie, Franklin when he was out here, but Franklin's in PR now. And
is he full time PR?
What's up?
Is he full time PR?
No, I think he's scouting it out right now, and maybe he's starting the process. But I think after he's done there, he's going to go back to he's essentially setting up home base in Florida while he figures out Puerto Rico if he's going to do it or not. But I think at this point he's pretty much set up on Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I'm looking hard, man. Looking hard. Freddie quotes, bro. I'm still in Florida, but like another week or two, and then we're good, man. So
Freddie always invites me to stuff like during the weekday.
I was like,
dude, I still work. Like I still work. Like have one party on the weekend, and I'll show up.
Yeah, BGR would have totally been down for the 420 party, but yeah, I'm happy he made it back from the beach because he was just sitting in the background just ripping. And he is now. So yeah, there you go. I'm in. But and
y'all can't make me laugh.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Oh, I smell it now too. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's like old school stuff there. Yeah. Good for you.
I'm ready. Vegas is going to be a very welcome relief, and it's just going to be cool to see even more Hexicans in person.
It's legal in Vegas.
It's legal in Vegas. See, I don't know all those laws.
Too bad I'm still in the military, so that's not going to get out of my system fast enough.
What'd you say, Molly?
I'm still in the military, so it's not going to get out of my system fast enough.
So are you? I think in your testimonial video, you said after 9 years, are you like committed to just being done?
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
I was done before HEX. I was way done before HEX. HEX was just the cherry on top.
Yeah, financially, kind of, I guess. Then, I mean, if you're tired of something, you're not going to stick with it. But just in terms of like a finance, and I don't want to get too into finances or whatever. But that's pretty awesome, man. To just have that freedom to not have to worry about it, dude.
Hell yeah. I mean, like when I joined, my job had like the longest schooling for the Navy. So like I had to do a 6-year contract, and then there was an additional 2 years I could do for the bonus. And so I just did that to kind of set myself up on my real estate that I did. And I would just buy multi-unit properties and go one to the next. And now at this point, HEX has just completely made me financially free. And I've gotten a taste of that this week because I'm doing my TAPS class, which is just transition assistance program for getting out of the military. Mm-hmm. And I've literally done like a class in the morning, and I just go hang out at the pool. I go work out. I come and stream. Like I haven't been doing jack shit all week, and it's been very nice. Oh, we got a nice pump. Almost 9.5.
Thank you, Joe Hexotic.
You struggling with his name over there?
Well, it's Hexo Joe, and then I'm like, oh, Joe. Okay, that is Joe Hexotic.
Yeah,
so,
he'll always be Joe Hexotic.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the branding stuff. Hey,
I'm glad he's killing the game though, and making some good money for sure.
No, that's so cool, man. Like I just can't wait to meet like all this community that we have. It's so good, man. And
I'm ready for a European trip, honestly. Once it opens up a little bit more, either Europe or Asia. I think we obviously have more people in Europe, but it'd be fun to do a European meetup or an Australian meetup. We have a lot of Australians too, so I really enjoyed Australia when I went out there, so I'd be down.
I have never been to either, so I've just done U.S., Caribbean, Canada, like this continent.
Boring.
Sorry, man. Sorry. I'm a beach snob, so I just find my spots, Bahamas, and all the islands and things. I'm cool there, but yeah, I do want to branch out. I definitely want to go Europe, Greece, England,
South America, Japan, Australia.
Yes.
I gotta do Europe essentially. Europe is pretty much the only thing I haven't done at this point. It's just mainly Europe. I've done Asia pretty well. I've done South America. I just need to get out to Europe and then maybe some parts of Africa. Maybe. I'm gonna choose sparingly.
I was gonna say you gotta
Africa.
be selective there, man.
Yeah.
Still, I mean,
there's a lot of countries you gotta be careful in, depending on where you go.
Yeah, this is definitely true. Definitely true. What else, man?
Where are you guys right now? Are you guys at fuck? I feel like you told me. What beach are you at right now?
Oh, OC Air Show. So
Okay.
yeah, they do the air show here every year, so we try to come down for that.
Wait, what beach though?
Ocean City.
Ocean City. Oh, you're at Ocean City right
Yeah,
now? Oh,
it's
shit.
big, yeah, for the air show.
I should have just drove out there and
mean,
hung out with you guys.
still come
Wait,
here.
how long are you guys out there for? The weekend?
Monday, yeah.
Monday? Shit. Maybe I'll hit you up and I'll drive out there one of these days this weekend. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but
Dude, we are here and the weather is perfect. So
nice.
Tonight's going to be greasy. Tomorrow's going to be greasy. Sunday's probably going to be a little bit greasy.
Greasy.
oh, hello, puppy. Hello. All right, anyway, so the dog just walked by. Anyway.
Nice. Yeah, I need to get some more sun before I go to Vegas, so don't burn at this
Yeah, I'm
115
filming the
degrees.
beach right now for Florida, so
It's a process.
working on it. Yeah, beautiful Naples. Yeah, see,
Naples
that's
is super
like
nice. Is that where you're at, Joe? I love Naples.
I love Naples.
Yeah, that might be one of the places I consider moving to. After I get out, I'm essentially going to go back. My parents are in Jacksonville, probably hang out with them for a little bit, and then just essentially do a scouting mission in Florida and just figure out where I want to live in Florida and then start scouting in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Jacksonville is just South Georgia to me, man.
Yeah,
I
can't stand Jacksonville. I'm going further south. Further south for sure.
Yeah, I mean, once you start getting to like Cocoa Beach, then I start feeling it. I love it there, even though it's still not as warm. And then you get down to like West Palm.
Coco's nice though. I like Cocoa.
Oh, I love it. And then
It's chill.
Yeah, totally. The pier there is awesome. You can watch cruise ships in and out, and the Port Canaveral and Cape Canaveral, obviously. So yeah.
I'm trying to convince Wasabi to come down to Florida with me. I'm like, bro, let's go live in Florida.
What's his hang up?
Huh?
What's his hang up?
No, he's looking at. He's seriously contemplating.
Oh, okay, cool.
I was trying to get dollar cost too, but I think he's just not willing to move too far away from the family right now. So he's looking at Vegas.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like your own personal situations, and you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, I mean, if you can afford it and logistics, are possible, you do it, man. That's why I'm looking at Florida PR. Talking to, just trying to gain as much information as possible. Talking to Gary and Kirk, and yeah, man. I mean, it's a whole process.
Yeah, Jupiter. Yeah, Joe, Jupiter is good as well. There's a lot of money in Jupiter for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Hollywood, like right around there, Miami, and then just going around. So you got like Naples coming up the Gulf Coast, Siesta Key. I'll be there for a little bit.
Siesta Keys is a nice beach. I really like Siesta Keys.
I will be there like a week from today. I can't wait. And
that might be my favorite Florida beach, the Siesta Keys.
Really?
Yeah,
right.
it's nice.
Oh, I mean, nice. It's powder sand. It's just
best sand. The water's super nice. It might be too warm sometimes.
Yeah,
but, it's nice.
And then Anna Maria, which is right up the coast there. And then you got Bradenton, you got Madeira, I think. Pass Grill, St. Pete. There's just so many. And then you come around to like the Panhandle, and it's like Destin, Pensacola. I've never done that. I'm
not a fan of the Panhandle.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of experienced it in Jacksonville. I mean, I don't know. I just feel it's more of an extension of just like southern Georgia and all the southern states essentially. I mean, it's fine though. Like I like doing the country thing as well, so I like a mix.
Yeah, well, that's another interesting point because like I'm definitely a beach dude, but in terms of U.S. places, Kinetics I think was looking into Wyoming just for tax reasons.
Yeah, I can't do Wyoming. I hear it's really beautiful out
You
there,
know,
but
ranch out there, dude, and like
yeah, that's nice. But I need like, I guess maybe if there's like a lake somewhere nearby, I could do like a lake style living or something. I just need water.
yeah, get yourself like a little stream, river, lake. Yeah, but I mean, it's colder there, but you know, time of year and stuff like that.
And that's another thing. I can't do cold, so like I'd have to like set up Puerto Rico so I could hop out during the winters.
Yeah, build your own like private strip and
just fly out, get my own pilot license.
9.5 cents. We are pumping the price, bro. So we have to.
Oh yeah, is that us? I'm not buying right now.
I'm gonna make you bring out your lit candelabra here if we hit 10 cents. But yeah, Joe Exotic be in Jupiter Monday and Tuesday next week. Then back there for 2 weeks after a week in Vegas. Oh man. So see, I'll be Gulf Coast starting like Monday-ish for 2-3 weeks, man. So if you're there, hit me up, chat me.
What are you doing out there for 2-3 weeks?
I'll
just enjoying life.
Life, baby. I've not had a vacay since last summer, so I've been working for this and and contemplating some other possible Hexagon things and future fun stuff, man. This whole thing excites me. The community. I want to hopefully, get out of the 9 to 5. I really don't need to be in it anymore. Haven't had to for a while. Very fortunate when it comes to that. But I'm very, as you know, in accordance with me not checking my staker app regularly, I'm very financially conservative. So I just like to have things locked up, bro. And once it's on, and the real fun begins. So I just want to take some time, think about a lot of things, and just chill. I like you. Want to do some exploring. Definitely on the Gulf Coast. I love the Gulf Coast of Florida. So potential second home kind of things. Just scouting out the area. Getting the vibe for how the people are. I mean, I know Florida's way more chill than here. Freddie said that a couple streams ago, which is so true. It's like
I love Florida.
Oh my gosh!
Everyone, all the Hexicans freak out of Florida because like Richard gives it like a bad rep. I'm like, no, he lived in like the fucking slums of Miami. Like it's different.
Exactly.
Florida's a very unique state depending on where you live. Like geographically, depending where you live in Florida, it's completely different. It's like 3 to 4 states wrapped into one, depending on where you actually settle.
Hex Monkey, 10 cents will be hit during someone's Hex stream.
It's not gonna be this stream, I don't think. Unless Hex Whales shows up, God Whale shows up and buys. I don't think we're gonna hit that.
I mean, we are like right there. So what was the all-time high was 972 before today, and then it's 979. So yeah, we got a little ways to go, but yeah, we did that. I don't know what I do, but there's a lot.
Evidently, nothing financially conservative one over there.
No, just like something crazy.
Shotgun a beer.
Nah.
You got a shotgun a beer if you.
I can do liquor way better than beer, man. That just bloats me out. I hate it, but I'll drink beer all day, but just give me the liquor and we're good. Watch out for alligator
2 a.m.
bugs. It'll happen.
Eastern. Maybe
Okay,
Hex
Joe.
Asians can claim the honor Sunday morning. Man, Vince, we don't have till Sunday morning. We got to hit 10 cents before then. Come on now.
At $1 Hex, my wife and I are taking a month to travel the coast of Florida to find where, bro.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of Hexicans are going to be in Florida and Puerto Rico too.
I want to be like the neighbor of Freddie Quotes, man. I want to be
Exactly.
Ollie's neighbor. I want to be Kirk's neighbor while in Puerto Rico. And
That's what that's what I was talking about. The guys, like, I would literally want to go like hop on my jet ski and just like rip it over to like one of y'all's houses. Just like what you did today. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna go rip it over to like Cabana's house or something real quick and just hop on the jet skis and go.
Like up in Anna Maria Island and just be like, yeah, I'm heading down to Siesta Key to see Motley. All right.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Florida's gonna be a good spot, and then from there, a lot of us are probably gonna go to PR as well. And it was funny because like even today, I was talking to some of the guys, and like we were half joking about like a business, but like the more I was like talking, it was like over with some of them. I was just like, oh, we could like actually do this, and it'd be fun because it's like a lot of our similar interests, and I'm looking forward to all the stuff that's coming down the pipeline, and this year's not even close to being over yet, which is wild.
Were we talking about business there?
Yeah. I was thinking about setting something up in PR. Well, like we were half joking about it, and then like the more we were talking about it, like it actually kind of made sense, and I was just like, maybe we will. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, tax-wise, it makes perfect sense. Now,
exactly.
The only wild card there is, like, will those laws remain in place because of politics and crap like that?
Just move again.
I know, but it's like,
I think Puerto Rico will defend that pretty.
I don't know, man. It's like 50-50.
They've done it for years. I mean, I don't know. I'd be very surprised. I mean, you can just get up and move again. It's no problem.
Yeah, I mean, you're used to it, I guess, more so because you're military, and that's like,
I've always liked traveling and hopping around. I've always been nomadic, so I don't mind moving to new places.
No, I'm cool with it, but at the same time, like I also want to know years out where I stand, as opposed to having this mystery. You know what I mean?
Don't worry, Hex hits the dollar by the end of the year, and I don't think you'll have to worry about anything.
So what are you thinking? Like,
I'm just gonna say I think it hits at least $1 there. I mean that should be more than sufficient for just about everyone in this chat right now.
Calm and cool with this call, Baron. I'd love it, but I'm just like,
because that could very well be the low end. That could very well be the low end.
Really? So you're not drinking the crypto Kool-Aid?
The crypto Kool-Aid, which is what?
I'm just saying, like $1 is a long way from here, man. It's like 10x.
10x is nothing. We've done a 10x in like the past like month or so.
And
less than 2 months we've done a 10x, and we haven't even released the launch of the sacrifice phase of the PulseChain. We did a 10x in less than 2 months. Like, you don't think we can't do 10x again, especially with everything that's coming down the pipeline with multiple HEX, with PulseChain, with the sacrifice phase, with all this stuff coming down, with how great HEX looks right now when everything else is dying off during potentially a short-term bear market for the rest of this year. Like, 10x from here is very easy. It's hard because all of us have been in since day one, so that number seems unfathomable to us. But if you take a step back and look at it now,
exactly,
10x from here it's a cakewalk. It's a cakewalk.
Yeah, and I think that was the thing that Richard touched on with quoting Big Pep. He was like, from where we could go from here versus where we've already been. It's like, yeah, if you put it in that perspective, of course we could do a freaking 10x, man. So yeah,
we just did one. We literally did one in under 2 months. Like, that's nuts. And we did it while the rest of the market was completely bearish, and we did it without the release of any of this awesome news of sacrifice phase or PulseChain yet. So like, that's still coming down the pipeline, and you're gonna get a copy. And like, yeah, between having a copy of your HEX on Pulse and Ethereum and PulseChain, having your Pulse tokens on PulseChain, like, there's just so much money to be made over the next couple months. Like, Hexicans are going to do extremely well.
Yeah.
And dollar is not that far off by any stretch of the imagination.
John Rempe asks, what should I do with my liquid HEX for sacrifice, boys? Feel dumb. Sound like a hockey player, bro. Hey, boys. Feel dumb for not staking it, but don't want to have to emergency end stake and pay gas fees if Richard Hart announces tomorrow. I mean, there are two scenarios. I think one, if you're doing the bonding curve, and this is just not financial advice.
Fuck it, it's financial advice.
Whatever. Opinion.
It's intoxicated Cabana advice. Salute.
Let me tell you something. This is how you do the HEX. Now,
take out a $250,000 loan. You put your house up.
it's complicated now, bro.
You pulled Peter McCormick.
Yeah, I think you can do like the 3 to 5 day stakes. I mean, this is like getting game theory-ish, but if you're trying to game the Vegas thing, I would say maybe do a 3 to 5 day stake before Vegas. That way, if it's announced before Vegas, you can still get out and get in before the bonding curve hold thing takes effect. And then if nothing is announced before Vegas and you have faith that...
Stake it again.
Exactly. If you have faith that Richard is not going to torture Motley and the rest of the guys while they are drunk and belligerent and just out of their minds in Vegas, then stake it for right after Vegas. That's kind of what I would do, maybe. I don't know. What any thoughts on that?
If it's worth it, depending on the size of your liquid bag. I think he's just talking a little bit overall. I mean, honestly, like I said earlier, like I have a good sized liquid HEX bag. I'm not going to sacrifice all of it. I have a USDC allocation. There's a couple of us that talked about pulling together. I know Cabana and I have talked about as well, is just pulling our money together. And depending on Richard's information he gives out with the different levels of the volume phase, if we can hit those higher levels, then why not actually aim for that? And then hopefully you can ride. So it's probably going to be somewhere between 3 and 7 days, that volume phase. So like I'm going to probably hold back a little bit, keep my eye and see what happens. And I think there's going to be extreme volatility. You're going to have whales trying to sell down the price of HEX. You're going to have whales trying to pump up the price of HEX. You're going to have people converting coins to HEX before they sacrifice it. So I'm going to try to catch the wave a couple times with some HEX sacrifice. And then I have a USDC allocation that I can trade over to HEX right before I sacrifice it. But just in case someone gets cheeky and wants to nuke the HEX price, I can just move my USDC allocation in. So I've got that covered. And then once the volume phase goes through, then I'm just going to be looking at essentially just watching the price of HEX throughout the rest of the time, watching it. I think it's going to be a steady increase going up. And so I'll probably fire off a couple more shots along the way of my HEX bag, save some liquid HEX for the snapshot. I'll probably allocate it to different stakes just to continue to fill in my staking ladder, and then I get that all copied over on Pulse Network as well. So
you're not blowing your load on the first 1 through 3 days.
I don't think so. I mean, I probably shouldn't even be telling you guys this, but
I know.
I shouldn't be giving you guys all the play.
But I mean, really.
This thing is geared. This thing's geared differently than adoption amplifiers. So it's actually. I don't think even if you go all in from the get go, I don't think it's going to hurt you by any stretch of the imagination. But I've just found every time, just holding back and seeing what the market does usually is more advantageous. So I will probably not have a super itchy trigger finger. Price doesn't go inflate over the volume phase, so I'll just keep an eye on it. And like I said, catch some pumps. If I don't catch the pumps, I have a USDC allocation, so I'm slightly hedged going into the sacrifice phase. Yep.
The grunts, is that Vince's alt account?
I have no idea.
Very smart, Molly. Catch the dips from thirsty whale. Yeah, see, that's such fascinating game theory, because if it goes on the 30-minute calculation, then couldn't someone theoretically come in and just wreck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So catch the tail end of those 30-minute intervals and continue to watch, or just or we'll probably see insane price increase once Richard announces it going up to the actual sacrifice phase, and maybe you do want to fire off the shot from the get-go before the whales try to get too much fuckery in. It just depends.
Yeah, Freddie's like, even with bonding curve, FOMO day one won't be the best option.
Maybe. It depends how much you come in with.
Right.
If you came in with millions of dollars, I guarantee you the volume phase is, you probably want to get in early.
Yeah, you're probably locked in there.
A lot of us are coming in with decent stacks, but we're not like in the Overwatch category. We're not coming in with multi-millions to go into.
Speak for yourself, Motley.
I mean, maybe Cabana's got a bigger bag than I know of, but you know. No.
Kidding.
Most of my stuff's staked.
Exo Joe Hexotic, because I'll always say your name, Joe Hexotic. Just know, and this is important because I mean, Motley and I have chatted about this. I chatted Patrick Hexline about this. If you stake under 90 days, the 50%, to get your principal back does not apply, and this is true. So be careful with that. So if you're trying to like game the stuff for like 7 days, and you're like, oh well, I stake for 4 days and I can emergency end stake, you are going to get a far bigger penalty and like lose principal than you would if the 90-day criteria were to be met.
That's why I think the 3-day, like if you have a big enough liquid hex bag, I think the 3-day stake is the safest, because I think the shortest amount of time that Richard's mentioned the volume phase being is 3 days. So
yes,
I think that you'll ultimately be the safest doing that. But it's not really worth it unless you have a larger bag. So just keep that in mind.
Yes, this John Rempe character asks, is your price locked in dollar-wise at the time you submit the sacrifice? This is what we were talking about, the 30-minute level here.
Yep.
Yeah, intervals. So, for example, if you sacrifice 1,000 hex, so yeah, it depends upon, I guess, right now, we don't know for certain, right? But that 30-minute window, if you submit at the first minute and then hex is at 10 cents, whatever. And then by the 30th minute of that interval, hex is 7 cents because some whale came in and wrecked the price, or some seller, not even a whale. Then you're kind of screwed, right?
Yeah, you could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. If that ends up being the way it plays out,
hypothetical, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like,
if that's the way it plays out, like I'll make sure I come in towards the end of those intervals, and yeah, just I'm gonna be riding the waves essentially.
Yeah, and it can play the opposite way too. So. Yeah. I mean, put in, at 10 cents, and somebody is like, hey, I want this thing at 15 cents by the end of this 30 minutes.
Yeah, I really think hex is going somewhere between 20 and 30 cents easy during the sacrifice phase.
You keep saying it, bro, man.
Speak it into existence.
Oh.
It's coming. Bag of dimes now, bag of quarters later.
All right, this is a good one. We're getting so many penalties when sacrifice launches. Do you think this is true, or it's already played out?
We've seen some of it already, but if there's some stakes that are close, yeah, I think we will, for sure. And these are just this is what we kind of talked about. I know a lot of people just never really saw too many people emergency end staking, but stuff like this comes up throughout the cycles. Like this fork is a big event, and if people don't have enough liquid to where they want to sacrifice, like some people might be willing to take a short-term loss on a stake and use that for their sacrifice period. So I think we'll definitely see a decent amount of them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, some of these amounts, like what was it, 14 million or 12 million? I think it was just days ago. Do you think that was a hack or just?
There was a Hexagon that got his OG Hexagon that got his account hacked. So
that was official. That's what happened.
Yep. Yeah, he was in Telegram. So be careful with your seed phrase, guys. Yeah, he electronically saved his seed phrase in his Dropbox, and his computer was compromised. They found his seed phrase, and they proceeded to drain his entire account and nuked all his stakes until they no longer got any more money from them. And now his wallet's forever compromised, and he was an OG Hexagon, so now he's just kind of screwed. It sucks.
Oh my gosh, man!
That's why OPSEC is so important, guys, especially in Vegas, because as much as I love all you guys, I don't know you, you don't know me. I guarantee you, there's gonna be at least one bad actor out there, for sure, because it's too public, right? Like people know how well Hexagons have done. Just be careful with how liberal you are with your information, because there's going to be at least one bad actor that's going to see all you guys as a target. So be careful. Can you imagine losing all you were an OG Hexagon and you lose your funds at this point? It would be devastating.
No, I mean, so what are some things that you can counter that with? You can do multiple wallets. I mean, obviously not save things electronically.
Vegas for Vegas, don't bring your crypto. That's number one.
Yeah, obviously, right.
Yeah, bring a burner phone. I'm gonna bring my work phone, so no one's gonna have my actual number or anything like that. And I'm turning that sucker in like a month
Jack
here.
Bauer, baby.
Yep. You don't have to give your real name if you don't want to. Be careful with your wallet and your cards and stuff like that. Carry cash if you can. Just be
like a rock star, man.
Yeah, just ball out. Oh yeah, actually, I can't wait for the strip club in Vegas. I'm actually very excited to see how a bunch of rich nerds handle the strip club in Vegas. That's gonna be entertaining.
Hey, we're still on air. We're not in the green room, so
I know. I didn't say anything bad.
Oh, the club on the strip that's what you.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yes. So all the pretty ladies at the club on the strip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
This is my burner name.
Yeah. So good.
So it's gonna be out there. It's like, yeah, I'm Limon.
So I mean, I'm not trying to, get into too many details. I mean, you have, aside from the actual meetups, or do you have plans with fellow Hexicans, like, off the books kind of thing?
Yeah. Like I got plans with like all my core group of guys that I usually hang out with or talk with. So, but like I'll go hang out in big groups for a little bit, but then I'm definitely gonna just do what is it? They say like a German goodbye or whatever, and I'm just gonna like slowly just like disappear off. Like,
back into
yeah, just like slowly just back out and just disappear into the masses.
Right.
But, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have a good time, enjoying hanging out with everyone, and then some individuals and parties. Like we got tables and stuff reserved already, so it's
really, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm so like I wish I didn't have that time already blocked off, because I'm just like
Friday and Saturday we got VIP tables and limo service, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
DJ Cryptomatic's correcting. It's a French goodbye. Come on.
Now I'm gonna look it up. All right. Let's see.
DJ, man, you questioned the wrong guy, because he's gonna Google and try to figure you see how he is with trivia. I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah. If only the guy actually administering the questions did his own research beforehand.
I do know, Joe. I do know. I was just, putting it out for conversation. But yes, absolutely. I can't wait to hang out with you, brother. So, hell yeah.
Let's see.
I trust the European.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Big K? You got to unmute, bud.
You got to unmute yourself, bro.
Blast. What's up?
Welcome back to round 2.
Round 2.
Round 1 never ended. Well, it did, thanks to you. But
you guys catch up. I'm gonna go drain the snake real.
It's a collective rug pull that we were trying.
What the hell's going on? I didn't get to say goodbye to Gary and Maddie. I was like, oh,
sad. Well, Gary had to go, and then we all just decided a quick rug pull on you. And I had to go too. I put a kid to bed. Now I came back, and I was like, I wonder if it's still going on. Oh my God, that's still streaming. Son of a bitch. So, here we are.
Joe Hexai, thank you guys for still going. I love having you. Hey man, this is like my vibe, bro. I'm just like,
oh yeah,
here, like taking in the beach air, and got a nice Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Love it.
Yeah. How's that bottle of wine, man? BGR was
lovely. I'm drinking the
out with your bottle of wine on stream, man. He was loving it.
I've got the other one that I had. The other one I had was a really nice. It
was nothing.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Say hi to Kirk, man. BGR. Hold on. Kirk's like getting up.
I was just gonna show up. So the bottle of wine from previous was the Far Niet, which is from. They're all Napa cabs. I love Napa cabs. I can't get enough Napa cabs. So
I thought it was hilarious. You just uncorked it in the middle of stream like it was.
Oh yeah. That was the
that's routine at this point.
Yes. I liked it. brandish some lovely varietals along
I'm mad at you.
our journey.
I was telling BGR about your straw in your sippy cup.
Oh yes, let's work on the straw and sippy cup. Oh, so I got it. So you guys want to see the fancy bit of straw and sippy cup? I think I'm gonna bring to Vegas.
Yeah, let's see it.
Oh yeah, let's see this.
Yo, Big K, I gotta talk to you in the green room about
Still in box. Oh yeah. So this is
an unboxing.
The Puffco.
That's the Puffco Peak.
Is that
This
a
isn't just the see. This is the
I have
Peak
one.
Pro. I have the. This is gonna get a little Richard-esque.
That's the plus. That's the plus. That one's the LED lights and whatnot.
Oh
Yeah, no, I have.
Alright, so I'm a big fan of Puffco. So I have the Peak. You know, this is
One of
the
their pens
traditional,
right here.
the original Peak. Yeah, there you go. That's the Puffco pen. Fantastic. It's got this cool like liquid effect on it. So I had the Peak, which is a great, fantastic device. Very big,
I
big
also
fan
have
of
the
it.
Peak. 5-star
love it.
product.
5-star product. Fantastic. I could be a spokesperson for it.
You good over there? All right.
So then I went and got. They now have to like up the game. They have the Peak Pro, which is a little taller, so you don't get as much water in your mouth, and has a wider bowl, so you like hits better, a little bit better, and it has a Bluetooth app too, so you can get your temperature gauge right on your phone.
Right?
You gotta have the Bluetooth app with your paraphernalia. So they just released the Opal version of it, and this one, if you see, it has a little opal in the very top of the thing here, and this cool ass swirly glass and stuff. I'll probably have that on display wherever we go. You know, it's legit in Vegas, so you know, I'll bring the opal along with.
That's what he was saying. This is legit.
Yeah.
Walk right into the dispensary and get the finest of the finest. It's a great
Yes,
place.
sir.
Down there.
I'm all about it. I cannot wait. So yes, sir, Freddie. We're going to be hitting the opal out in Vegas. Yes, sir. But we'll leave it in the box until we're out there, you know, and just
Man,
and
that's
use what we already got.
Control. Respect.
Yes, thank you. I mean, you got to go with the best, you know. If you're going to go with what you know, you're going to
Puffco's the only products I'll buy now.
Yeah, I mean they really do. They really do. I mean, and I've tried the other ones. Like, don't get me wrong. I've tried like the Focus V and the Carter thing that they have. It's all right too, but like Puffco, we just keep coming back to it.
Yeah,
So.
I mean Puffco's where it's at. I'm with you, 100%.
Yeah, I have all the selections of their bandana wear as well. I have their white, their black, their purple. I'm a big fan of all their outerwear as well. Yeah, fantastic products. The pen is great. Anyway, so back to our regular scheduled programming.
Yeah. It was good talking, boys.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to educate myself.
Of course. It's important information.
You need to record it. That'd be an awesome unboxing video.
That would be. That'd be what beat the shit out of loot crates. That's for sure.
Yeah, just by a little bit.
Yes, sir.
He's just rolling. All right. Anyway, how you doing, Kirk? Where you been?
I put the kid to bed. You know, said my good nights. Then, like I said, I popped back over here, and I was like, "Hey, look, the party's still going."
It's still going, man. So yeah, Motley and I just been having a casual chat. I was telling him after y'all rubbed me, and fortunately, Motley came back graciously.
I just came to rub it in, and then I got stuck. So
thanks, bro. I was being nice to you, but you know, if you're gonna be like that. So anyway,
I was about to say that's how we all got here, but I don't want to leave.
Oh man, dude.
Oh man, fantastic.
I was saying to Motley, like, and yeah, you didn't catch this. Joe Hexotic did some great streams, like learning the backgrounds of people and whatnot. Did you have a chat with Joe?
Yeah, I did a chat with Joe, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. So Motley didn't, but you did and I did. And I was just floating the idea. It was like, okay, well, you do the backgrounds of, you know, people, like personal stuff, you know, right? And I was thinking, like, I love the streams with, like, you know, Dollar Cost has done some of them. You know, he's few and far between because he's so busy, but he's done one with Crafty and more recently, I think it was Markable, just to chat, like kind of like what Molly I've been doing for the past like 45 minutes or so. And it's just like, talking crypto and just I'm not really, concerned about viewership or anything like that, but it's just a cool time to hang out and get viewer feedback and questions and just down to earth stuff. You down for that?
Is that right? 9.7 cents.
Yeah, we're at 9.7 right
Wait,
now.
what?
Yo,
What?
if we actually hit 10,
Dude, I'm
Bruh.
jumping off this balcony. All right,
Man, I got a piece I could show us if we hit 10 here. It's a fun little
dude, we
add-on.
are like this could be the second week in a row that we could touch all-time highs on stream. But anyway, we're going to monitor this. Actually, I'll pull it up here because this is exciting. But yeah, Kurt, what do you think about, like, would you like be interested or?
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I mean, like, that's where if we're talking keeping things light and easy and freewheeling, that's where I excel. I'm fine.
That's my style.
That's my style. So, like, I mean, I like to talk about everything. Yeah, exactly. Look at us. We can get into a little bit of everything. I'm not bound to one topic. I mean, and I do love talking about HEX, and Pulse has made it so that we have infinite content for what will be a long time to come. But yeah, I mean, like, we can get into whatever, man. I mean, like, we just did the little Puffco theater,
Yeah.
So,
anybody have a shot available? Because we got.
Yeah,
and Kirk, I know you're a hockey bro, so we have here some Pink Whitney.
Let me go get something real quick.
Have you ever had?
Yeah. No, I haven't. Pink.
Are you? Oh my
Whitney.
gosh,
Barstool Sports.
Barstool.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Shout out Spitting Shitlets.
Yeah, I'll go make one. Give me just a
All
second.
right. We'll get this set up, chat. I'm just going through chat here. 10 cents seems to be a hurdle until we blast. I agree, man. I think, like, the first time that we got close, it was like 9.7 cents. People are trying to front run it, man. So you see, I mean, it just all came in. Like, it's that magical. I mean, a dime is not a round number, I guess, in stock terms, but in, cent terms, I guess it is in crypto terms. So yeah, people try to front run it, and holy crap, man. I mean, if you didn't catch that dip, I mean, we're right back here. So yeah, 10 cents during happy. Oh my gosh. Yes.
I would love it. I love it. So yeah, I got a little bit of. I think I
Telegram. I've got a few minutes. Only, do you have a shot ready, Brand? Do you have a shot ready? And I will send it, because we are doing this right now. What is that, by the way, Kurt? What do you got there?
Okay, so what I have here is it's local from from Vieques. So Vieques is like the little island, one of the two little islands off of Puerto Rico that are also part of Puerto Rico. This is Crab Island rum. It's coffee. Yes, I'm very excited. Coffee infused rum that's from. Yeah, it's like it's got like a little bit of got the because I was always a big fan of, if you remember back in the day, there's Van Gogh made double coffee infused vodka that, like, it was also super caffeinated, which, I mean, is terrible for you, but like that's what you want, like, I mean, we're worried about how we're drinking liquor here. So it was great, but then I think the whole Four Loko thing made it so that you weren't supposed to infuse alcohols with caffeine and stuff. So, like, they still have the coffee flavor, but it's not the double coffee infused, like actually double caffeinated. And I always am searching for a good caffeinated liquor, to really up the ante when you can. So.
Word. Motley is back and getting focused. I'm trying to get Brandon here. Hold on. We are like pushing all-time highs right now, boys.
Yeah, I'll bust out my
bros. Like, we are right there. We are so close.
Oh yeah, we are touching it.
We are touching it. It feels so good. Yes. Hold on. Let me find Brand, bro. I'm trying to find you, bro. All right, there we go.
And there's so little hex in the Uniswap pools too.
Yeah, what are we
man.
down to now, by the way? I haven't looked at it yet.
The USDC one has 64 million hex in it.
But just like total number.
And Uniswap V2. Oh, so where's that site that has there's way to
.win.
yeah, Apex.
Yeah. Yeah, shoot, there, boy.
Give me Apex.
So yeah, nine. I'm
It's what?
looking at chart 979 cents is all-time high, and we are 974 right now, boys. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
This is fun. I'm just waiting on Brand for a second. Hopefully he can get in here.
Yeah.
He's gonna, hopefully he's not gonna outpace this guy for a shotgun, but
Do I have to do one of this?
no.
So we can play.
Because I will.
we can play a fun game while we wait for the audience. The audience participation, enjoyable.
Yeah, why not?
So we've got another goofy little item here. Now, this is good. I'm going to show you the item, and then I'm going to let you guess as to how much this item costs. It's nothing as insane as the paddle set, but this is a perfect item to be displaying as we touch all-time highs. This would be a silken Louis Vuitton spaceman rocket ship to the moon handkerchief. Straight to the moon, boys. How much?
I don't think I've ever used a handkerchief in my life.
How much to wipe your schnoz?
425.
Close, but over.
Yeah, I was gonna go a little bit lower, but
670.
Oh, dude.
375. 375.
Have you seen it, chat? I can't keep up now, man.
I'm trying to watch chat. Nobody's gotten it. Everyone's basically Eshtar is the closest without going over so far.
350.
What do you say?
250.
335.
You're getting closer.
345.
The market price is $304 for this snot rag.
Oh, nice.
Hey, what's up,
So
guys?
if you're looking to go to the moon and wipe your snot on primo silk,
That's
you can do
what
it.
to do it on. Can I borrow that in Vegas?
It's not like the only thing you'll be wiping.
All right, gentlemen.
Man, you just had a good time in that Louis Vuitton store, didn't you?
Oh my gosh. In Lapland. Yes. Oh man. All right. So latest update. Yeah, we're still like right up against all-time highs. Let me bring it up here. We will do a little ceremonial.
If we can get there.
Hey, we're
9738.
I'm relying on everyone in chat right now to go make a buy. If you guys all just buy a couple $1,000s, we're there.
There you go. We're there.
We're getting close.
Or
let's see.
Telegram, Godwell at C5. This guy here,
Yes.
and he
Yes,
will
we like-
you disappear for a second, and if he comes back and the price is at all-time highs, we'll know.
Now you know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you guys can give us like an extra 120 G's into the price right now, that might just quite get us there.
That'll do.
All right, boys. Well, we were saying this is. Let me get this off here. This is Pink Whitney. So I know Kirk is a big hockey fan.
Yeah.
BGR is a big hockey fan. Ryan Whitney
Ryan Whitney, pink lemonade and vodka. The Ryan Whitney drink here. Spin Chitlets. Shout out Barstool Sports.
It is obscenely smooth and will get you in trouble.
I bet it's pink
you
lemonade
can
and
down the whole
vodka.
bottle.
It is so good. It is so good. I don't even
combo.
like vodka, but this shit's good. So, all right, boys, to touching all-time highs. Let's go.
Cheers.
Tap the top.
Ka-chink.
This has been a lovely happy hour.
I love it, man. Yes.
I left. I came back. We took shots. We touched all-time highs.
We talking about podcasts.
I came,
About
I saw,
Popeyes.
I conquered.
Oh man, we had some good ideas. We had some good ideas. I'm about to get off the phone right now and call the Bellagio and see if we can get a private room for a game, maybe Friday night.
Bro, if you do that, you're my hero. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
do it. Don't do it too late for the marquee night, but like maybe like right before that or something. It'd be nice, like a pregame.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, yeah. Well, the marquee's gonna be 10 o'clock, so maybe like 8 to 10 kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
That's
We'll
gonna
see
be
what they have
fun.
available. Yes.
All right.
I put together some back alley poker games and some Holiday Inn, the breakfast nooks, before. So I think we can do better than that.
Yeah, I used to do some shady poker games in Orlando with tens of thousands of dollars before. Those are dangerous too, because you invite the wrong person, and next thing you know, you're getting robbed.
Oh
Yeah, dude, I could see that.
Yeah,
It happens all the time.
DJ, blame it on
yeah, that's right. You know, DJ, you know what's up.
I don't fuck with
Oh
any.
shit! Hold on.
It
Oh,
wasn't
man.
out.
It wasn't.
Getting down.
It was not.
Going down out there. What beach are y'all at today?
Dude, I feel like I'm like Yash Deep. We're like got all the
Whales only. He's got the
Yash Deep
sirens.
has the drag racing outside. You guys just got the popo after you.
That's how Seattle is too, man. Just freaking sirens every like 5 minutes.
Big city life. Concrete jungle.
No, Ocean City, Kirk, here for the air show.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'd love it. This, we try to make it down here for that, or over here, whatever. And then, yeah. So, what do you guys want to do for Florida next week? Because I'm going to be in Florida. You are going to be in Vegas.
Yeah. So if it's like 3 o'clock in Vegas, I'm trying to think of exactly. I mean, I'm going to bring like a burner laptop with me. I could ask my event girl if I can. I got some thoughts. Let's put it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I got an extra laptop as well, and then I can bring this speaker. It's easy to move, so
Yeah.
we can set up a couple different things pretty easily.
Yeah, sweet.
Oh, very cool. Brand, where you at, man? Come back here.
Brad comes on stream and then instantly leaves.
Chill out. I'm filling up my cup. All right. 1 second.
All right, there you go.
I'll do it on cam. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to get you in real quick because of the shot thing and the beer. But now, since you're here, bro,
Yes, sir.
let's get some takes, man. So,
Yeah.
first of all, really cool Knights of the Crypto Roundtable. Love like what you, Motley, Dollar Cost, Wasabi, Coffee. Cool stream over there, so everybody go check that out. What are you guys on Thursday nights? Is that right?
Yep, Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. We might be moving to earlier time or a different day. I don't know. But
What's
as
that
of
depend
now,
on?
those are the times. What's up?
What's that depend on?
Just trying to get better schedules for everyone because half of us are West Coast and the other half are East. Like, so me and Coffee are East Coast essentially.
Yeah.
Brand, Dollar Cost, and Wasabi are West Coast. So it's
Yeah.
just trying to figure out a good
Seattle,
time.
right?
Yeah. Bellevue is where I'm at now, and then the girlfriend lives in Seattle, so I kind of commute between both. But
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Seattle, Bellevue.
Well, how you been, man? I haven't streamed with you in a bit, or been on a stream.
It's been a minute.
We need to do one of these things exclusively. Maybe we'll have you on next week or something, because I might get rugged by Kirk and Motley I'm kidding. I'm
We're
kidding.
gonna do. I'm gonna do everything I can. No,
I'm kidding.
No promises.
I've got the
no
next
expectations, but we'll
no
try.
expectations.
But seriously, how are you feeling about sacrifice phase? I mean, we've discussed this all around the table. So I mean, just any thoughts that you have, because I know you shared them, on nights of roundtable, crypto roundtable. But what are you feeling like? Do you have like a wish list or expectations? Like, what are you feeling?
So I'm excited. I heard you guys streaming earlier, and I've been listening the whole time. And just to Big K's point, that hope that it doesn't start obviously when Vegas does, which I think is kind of like a parade of imaginary horribles, right? Like Richard knows better, and he knows the website. He's not going to do that to start the sacrifice phase during the Vegas trip. And so, anyways, I'm excited for the sacrifice. I mean, I'll be honest, it feels like it did when we started HEX, right? Where it's just everyone knows the meme, like 4 more weeks. But I'll tell you what, I've had some significant stakes come out, and it's like, man, all right, I got more capital than I was going to put in initially. And so I'm really excited about that. I'm probably going to take the 2/3 sacrifice to 1/3 liquid just strategy from what kind of Richard has mentioned. I think that's a decent idea. I don't think I'm going to do all of it on just one day. I don't like kind of similar to the first day of AA, right? Everyone kind of blew their load on the first day. And so if you can kind of hold off and dollar cost average, stuff like that, I was definitely one of those people. And then average the rest, right? But anyways, you got to learn from how the system has behaved before. And I think it's going to be, really cool. The PulseChain itself, I've been making a couple clips here and there, and we're going to be beating Ethereum 2.0. And how long has that been, talked about? Since 2017? Oh, okay. So we're going to be able to, significantly have a head start.
Sure.
In here.
That is true. I think that it's not as hard as they're making it.
Sorry, my man.
That's what she said.
My man was flirting with the ladies as they just strolled by, so I was on mute accidentally.
Gotta holler while you can.
Can't control this animal. I love him to death. So yeah. Anyway, wow, we are like right there, boys. Just so 10 cents is like this. I don't want to say round number. I was saying it in chat and some other places, but it's like, okay, it's like a dime. So once we bust through this, where I know Motley is like 20 to 30 cents sacrifice phase, Mr. Bull Pants on over there. Kirk and Brand, where do you think we can touch in this sacrificial phase? Anybody?
I would be surprised if we can't double, So like if we're at 10, why not? Or 9, solidly 9, why not 18? I would be surprised if we don't. I feel like there's a lot of buying pressure there. There's not that much HEX available. Like I've talked about, I know people that should have already switched their HEX over, their other whatever over, and haven't. I know a lot of things to play that seem like we could 2x from here, maybe more, but probably. But I think that I would be remiss if that didn't happen. I'd be all like, oh, bummer. So, but that's what I'm gonna say. 18 cents, 18, 20 maybe.
18 cents is rather precise. I love it. Children of the grave.
So I heard Motley talk about possibly 25 to 30 cents, and I think that's very feasible. Similar to Richard, his recognition for Big Pep, where it's like, oh, we've already gone 1,733 or 66, whatever it was, X. What more is a 10x? I think that is very feasible, and I think that there's a lot of people. Not only the thing is you got to consider there's the crypto, there's the HEX, and then there's the other people that are sacrificing too. And anyways, I think I think a 3x is very feasible. Obviously, we've seen moves like this before. I mean, Motley was kind of talking about earlier that in a week we did a 10x or whatever it was, and the price itself can really pump up a lot higher than you think because of its dynamics that it has. So I think that 30 cents is very feasible, and when you kind of have the momentum of the market itself participating, you have a lot more bigger players that are willing to compete for the bonding curve and just a lot of other things that can really make this price just frickin' parabolic.
Yeah, Cabana, 3x from here. We go to 30 cents, just another 3x to the dollar. Pretty much right there.
I knew you were going to say that, dude.
It's coming.
Like,
it comes quickly when Richard releases like the actual date for the sacrifice phase and the details. Like, I think we smashed through 10 cents. We'll jump up to like 12, 13. We might even hit upwards of 15 cents, depending on how much we have room till the actual sacrifice phase starts. Like, price is going to do some stupid stuff rather quickly. So that's why you want to be in your position now, as opposed to trying to buy into the massive green wick, right?
Yeah, and I'm just scrolling back through chat here because Bitfinesse I brought up earlier, but we were still talking. I just want to bring back his question because I think this is like pretty cool. Thoughts on the probability that sacrificers get a much better deal on Pulse tokens than those who buy Pulse tokens with HEX? Might sacrificers get the best deal? Speculative, but it's been on my mind heavy.
Now, is he talking about like if you were to wait after the sacrifice phase and then try to buy Pulse like during a sell off or a dip? Is that what he's asking?
If you can clarify that, Bitfinesse, put it in chat, man. We'll bring it up because I think I know where you're going, but I want to like try to go down the wrong road and start talking about stuff that isn't.
You got some liquor too,
and
boy.
I think.
My man, how you doing down there?
Yeah, I think Pulse is going to. It's definitely going to do some quick multiples of X. Yeah, but I think there will be a sell-off too, right? Because a lot of hexagons are using this as a vessel to get large liquid bags. So I think there is a period, and the only thing we can really go off of is like these old ICO launches. Like me and Wasabi have been pretty much looking at Ethereum. And there is a very good chance that after the sacrifice phase, there might be a short period of time where you can buy Pulse technically cheaper than what you got during the sacrifice phase. So that is a strong possibility. And again, I'm hedging. I will have some bags on the side. If that does take place, then I can buy in that trough period. But yeah, there you guys go. There's some even more little inside information for you. There's a good chance that there will be a buying opportunity after the sacrifice phase as well.
No,
giving away all the good stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not really because yes and no. I appreciate that and appreciate you for sharing that. But at the same time, it's like, if you're, and I'm just going back to my traditional markets mentality, if you're building a position in something, are you going to go all in at one price and believe that you are smart enough to call the bottom in something? Or are you going to dollar cost in and at least have a few buy points along the way that spreads out your risk automatically? And then, you're not making, a freaking Hail Mary bet in a sense.
Right. Richard, he for day one of HEX, right, he doubled the supply, and he thought that was going to be enough for the day one FOMO, and it clearly wasn't. So to your guys' points earlier, that I mean, personally, I'm probably going to go in a decent size on like the 1 to 3 like launch phase, and then maybe save the other I don't know, 25% of the bag and kind of just average in, because the thing is once this phase is announced, it's going to skyrocket the price, in my opinion. And I think there's a lot of people that are just waiting on the sideline, whether it be USDC or ETH or just whales in general. And Richard had talked about it too, and even Gary, where there's people that weren't happy with HEX the way that it was marketed, but PulseChain is going to be different. And I think that we're going to see a lot more wealth come into the PulseChain sacrifice, and then later PulseChain that'll be pretty significant. You're muted.
I was going through chat. So Freddie's like, how much on average sacrifice during a? If that's the overall average, that might be right? 8 if you took the full launch phase.
I don't know. I never did.
I'm trying to mute myself and unmute.
It's kind of hard to
man.
compare adoption amplifier, which was a year long, as opposed to something that's at the longest going to be 1 month. So it's a little bit of a different scenario, and they're designed differently as well. So I wouldn't. And on top of that, the price appreciation of HEX and hexagons that have much larger USD value as well. So you can't really use the adoption amplifier as a gauge, in my opinion, on this situation. It's gonna be there's too many different variables at this point. And then it's the whole design is different as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like HEX has or had its own game theory and will continue to do so, but PulseChain, man, it's its own set, and man, it's like we're doing this whole thing over again. But it's also hexagons, I guess, have a certain set of experience, dealing with the HEX launch phase that I think we're far more comfortable. But it's also exciting to see the Telegram chat blown up with like 20,000 people or users, and like most non-bots and stuff like that. And even more impressive, Richard's come out and said, hey, take for what it is, but top 20 crypto designers, developers, whatever, have contacted about Pulse. That's amazing to me. I think you want to at least have a taste. If you're a hexagon, I'm not saying, do what you're comfortable with, not financial advice, but to at least have a taste of it and to experience it with the community if you're been a hexagon, and to go on this ride again with another chain, perhaps a parallel ride. Man, what more of a knowledge set could you have with all the streams that we have? The data is there.
Gary talked about it today too, right? Didn't Gary just didn't he say a top 10 founder?
Yep.
Was
exactly
trying to get into Pulse. So as far as Richard goes, I mean, that could be a little bit exaggerated because I want to put it past him as far as the marketing aspect goes. Maybe it's not, but shit. Fucking Gary talked to a top 10 crypto founder that's interested in buying Pulse, and I know Gary's for a fact is not making that shit up. So. Yeah, it's good signs of things to come for sure.
Well, Cabana mentioned a very good point. The amount of users, right? The amount of people in the Telegram chat that are growing. And I mean, I know HEX has been around since December 2nd, 2019, and the Telegram chat has done very well. But relative to the PulseChain chat, it's fucking exponential. Like, it literally is exponential. And I see so many people that are in the audio chat at one time. I see 60 to 90 people at a time, sometimes 120, and that's not including the HEX radio app. And so I think that Richard has mentioned that as far as HEX pumping, that its price will pump due to being a store of value. But I think that PulseChain is going to be similar to Ethereum, where it's the network participation and it's the amount of people that are developing smart contracts and stuff like that kind of gain the value. And not only to mention, this is the first time anyone has ever copied the Ethereum system state, all of it, so that's going to be really exciting. And the thing I will say real quick is Peter Thiel, a long time ago in a interview, he was talking about Elon Musk and with PayPal, and he said that, you know, he had seen so many projects that he had done, and he would never want to bet against him. And I'm kind of the same way with Richard, where it's like, I remember talking about as a dream, just like a penny was, but if Richard had done a second cryptocurrency, you know, I'm going to go very similar to the way that I did HEX. And now that dream is here, you know, it's a reality. So it's really exciting, and we're all super early.
Amen. Sorry. The Elliott wave chart doesn't take pulse into consideration. Do you hear Richard going to tell the winner of sacrifice?
Well, and the other thing I'll say real quick is, even if you do nothing, if you have a ERC20 token, you know, a token built on top of Ethereum, you're going to get a copy. And same thing with even the people that do NFTs. You know, no matter what Richard has said in the past of, you know, non-fungible tokens, he's copying that over. And Motley and I kind of talked about it last night that it's just going to be cool to see the dynamics, because you're bringing in so many different communities and so much game theory all into one token. And when you combine it all, it's just a smorgasbord. And I think the Pumpamentals itself is going to surprise a lot of us. And we just see what HEX has done in a year and then a year and a half. It's really cool to think that we can, you know, have Lightning strike at the same place, you know, twice in a row.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, that's the whole key for Hexicans, is you have the insider knowledge on Pulse. I know it was funny early on when Richard essentially released the information of us forking Ethereum. A lot of Hexicans were kind of just bitching at the fact that it was going to be a level playing field for everyone across the board, no special advantage to Hex. But I mean, honestly, being on the forefront, Hexicans have all the insider information. I think Benny was talking about it earlier, where most of this information would be illegal in traditional finance. Like, you guys have it all at your fingertips. So that's your advantage right there. And if you don't take advantage of it, then that's on you, that you fucked up. But there's so much money to be made over the next couple months during this period. All of you guys are already stupid rich off Hex. Like, if you play this properly, you could be magnitudes of X more rich than you are now, which is kind of hard to fathom for some of you guys who have already done extraordinarily well. But there's many more X's coming down the pipeline in just a matter of a month or two, and a market that's in a complete bear market right now. Like, the market is doing awful. Depending on what level of support, if Bitcoin doesn't hold 30,000, if we continue to dip and the market continues to crash, like, we could definitely be looking at this short-term bear market coming up here. And Hex is literally one of the few, if not only, things that's staying green at this point. Not only staying greens, but we're up. What are we up? Like, essentially almost a 10x just from a couple months ago. So it's pretty amazing.
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've got someone in my family, and then a childhood friend that I grew up with, and they were not a fan of Richard, and because they didn't like Richard, they just completely dismissed Hex. And so the point that I'm getting to is, when Bitcoin went from 65,000 to, you know, 30 something, now they're like, wait, the whole market is correlated, right? Bitcoin and everything else, as far as the alts go, they all took a 50% haircut, but why is Hex pumping? And I think the point that Gary had made, where the top 10 person, you know, it's probably not Tether, right? So whatever the other 9 options are, the top 10 person had kind of said that the act of Hex being there had kind of shortened the bear market. And I think that that's a very interesting thing, because it really is a hedge, right? I don't necessarily consider it, you know, a major gamble. I consider Hex a smart contract, which is very safe. And, you know, you got to know what you're doing, but you can either hold it liquid or you can stake it.
Sorry, I'm just reading Joe getting his mom into Hex.
So yeah, I mean, shout out to Gary, right, that had done the networking, and same thing for these other people. Richard had talked about it. People that, like I mentioned, they weren't a fan of Hex. They weren't a fan of the marketing of Hex, but they see what Hex has done, and now they see what PulseChain is going to do. and they're like, hey, I don't want to miss the train a second time in a row. Let me get my ducks in order to make sure that I can participate. And how many big whales have we seen that have really impacted the price of HEX?
Yeah, I was just about to call out this comment. It's just like, this is just huge when you just take a step back and look at what we're doing right now. We are consolidating at all-time highs where the rest of the market is consolidating near all-time lows for the cycle. So that's pretty wild. Like, there's literally no other coin at this upper echelon that HEX is right now. Like, there's nothing like this in the market. You guys are very fortunate to have this even a part of your portfolio, if not a majority of your portfolio, because we're just not experiencing the pain that the rest of the market is. Like, we get into our own ecosystem, our own echo chamber. You don't realize that the rest of the crypto space is hurting right now. They're all down 40, 60%. And meanwhile, hexagons are up at 10x from a couple months ago. Like, we lose sight of the fact that we're in such a better position to just succeed and win in this. It's absolutely amazing. We're very fortunate to be here. And I mean, good on all of you guys that made the decision to invest in HEX, because I mean, you guys took that upon yourself and you actually did your own research and fought off all the bullshit FUD out there.
Yeah, and I think Brand touched on something just like a couple minutes ago. It's like you see the hate and animosity towards Richard, and I'm still battling this, not personally, but with people I'm trying to onboard. And I actually had a money manager reach back out to me, and I messaged him a lot of things crypto, and HEX I did it in launch phase. He didn't get in. And some other things, Polkadot and a lot of things that were many X lower than what they are now. And I was like, all right, PulseChain's coming up. Just wanted to put this on your radar. And I was like, in introducing it, I was like, this is from the same founder of HEX, and this is basically just a one-sheeter of what it's all about. And I consider him a friend, but I was like, okay, he sees that, that's cool, but he can't get past, I guess, the top hat thing and the marketing thing. And I've been talking, trying to explain that. And I think, maybe after people get past that, not just him, but others, I think that it still is a barrier. It's the language or whatever, but I respect it. I appreciate that shit, dude. If somebody comes to you and tries to knock you, you punch them back harder. Yeah. And that's the way it is. And I'm sorry if that doesn't.
It's how it used to be. Now
right.
Everyone's too soft because no one gets popped in the mouth anymore, because we do all this social media shit. So people feel like they can talk to you some sort of way, but they don't have this face-to-face interaction anymore. And these people haven't been hit in the mouth for saying some dumb shit. And that's kind of the problem we find ourselves in now. It's just a plethora of this social media crap where people don't know how to talk to people anymore. They don't know how to have a normal conversation. They don't know how to just literally talk to someone and not insult them because they have this stupid screen in front of them. Like, a lot of people just need their asses whooped or face some sort of adversity at some point in their lives, but a lot of people just don't get that anymore. And now we have all this bullshit that we see in media and all this drama and all this nonsense that's out there just because a lot of people have never faced any sort of adversity or had a normal human interaction. Like, everything's so
totally
you're kept in your little fucking safe place or whatever the fuck they call it. I think Amazon's literally made cubicles where you can go, like, your little safe place for an hour and cry or keep away from people making fun of you. I don't even know. Like, it's
right.
The world has turned upside down in just the past couple of years. It blows my mind.
Well, and it's just like with Richard, right? It's popular. That's how I found out about Richard, was following some of the BTC maxis, and they were just shit talking him. And it's like, okay, why is the consensus that everyone hates this person? And so I followed Richard Hart, found out about him. And you have to be able to separate, Richard or his personality or anything that you don't like for whatever reason with the product. The product itself is complete. It is a product. It's not a project. And so many people, to Motley's point, they can't separate the two. They have their ego mixed in with what other people are validating. and they don't think that HEX can be the product that it is. They think like the J guy. They think that it's going to be a long-term rug pull, and there's always so many different narratives that are shifting. Right, with Big Payday, it was, oh, this is the dip at 20% of a penny. I know someone that sold at 50% of a penny, and now look at the price. It's like, boy, how you were wrong. And so, anyways, you have to be able to think for yourself. Richard mentions that it is an IQ test, and so all of us that have been able to stand by the adversity and stuff like that, we've all done very well. And like I said, you have to be able to separate yourself from what the mainstream considers popular and be able to listen to truth and be able to think for yourself.
Well, if you can't do those things, then the next step that I recommend is that you get involved, because part of being involved with this, with all of y'all, has helped probably, I mean, myself, I'm sure other people, to be more, to hold with more conviction, to be more strong-handed. I mean, it always, I mean, have you ever worked out with a partner versus alone? Like, it's easier, you're more motivated. It's just how it works. You're held accountable. Exactly. So, like, I mean, in general, I think that, if you're having trouble making a plan of your own, or finding a way to do what you already know is the right thing, then you need some help. I mean, and the best thing to do is to reach out to somebody. And I find solace or enjoyment in streaming with y'all, because I know that I'm a stronger handed person for talking about, it's easier to talk about the charts than it is to stare at them all day. It really is. So I think that in general, that you don't have to be you don't have to be this incredible person of conviction to start. I mean, I don't know if I don't really think I was, I think I've gained a lot of that over time. And from having a good community to work together with, I mean, I fill my time with other stuff. You see all the stuff me and Gary are working on, whatever that's coming up, and that stuff filling my time has made it a lot easier for me to to focus on the fun parts of the chart and not the painful parts, the parts where you may sell at the wrong time because you don't have a strong support community. They're like, no, dog, we're going to the moon, dog. It's all good.
My Louis Vuitton handkerchiefs deems it so.
Well, and the other thing I'll say, just
Cabana. Sorry, Brad.
Just real quick to your guys' point earlier, because I've been listening since the beginning. The beautiful thing about what Richard is doing and what some of the other Hexicans are doing, right, by showing off the ping pong paddles or whatever, Rolex and stuff like this, is it validates the success of HEX, right? Because you see 1,733 or 66, whatever ends up being X, and then it's like, okay, well, where's the golden yacht, right? Where's the gains of the participation you had? And so it's really cool to see people buying off their houses, paying off their mortgage. David Feeder was the first Hexican that was like, hey, I paid off my student loan debt, and that was a burden for X amount of years. So it's awesome to see that a product, not only the other things that Richard has done, right, Sci-Vive and How to Fix the World, but just things like HEX that have really solidified the success for people that listened.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things that could be a potential factor in advancing HEX is to change the perception of Richard, just because there's so much unknown about him that we all know, but to the outside world, it's like, oh, Mensa, oh, founder of the cryptocurrency, oh, donates to the Sense Foundation, ran that shit years ago. And I tell people this, and you can see the light switch just gone. Wow. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't need the money, and he actually does the self-help stuff. And I can see the videos that he actually did, and I think that needs to be perhaps communicated better. I'm not sure how. I'm just think tanking here, but from a community perspective, okay, richardhart.com, this guy is legit. And he always says, like, show me somebody who has scammed. I've scammed. You can't. Like in business, ever. Not talking crypto, but it's just this narrative, and it's indicative of what we see today in just every media format. Is people take something that they want to run with, and they do so and try to push it and push it and push it. And if you have a loud voice, then more people will believe it. Fortunately for Hexkins, hey man, a lot of y'all believe the bullshit. But we here, and we've been here, and it's nice here, and we're gonna stay here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's very true. No, I agree with all of that, man. I think it's very true. I think having I think that some of that'll come in time, but I mean it's tough. It's tough because we do live in a meme friendly, clip this, clip that, and take people out of context kind of world, so Richard has shown many sides in different interviews, and so it's really easy to chop up some of the rougher moments and be like, look at this guy, but yeah, who knew it is. I mean, that's the thing, is it's true, man. Like I said, you don't have to think for yourself, but you better trust who you're gonna let think for you. That's for damn sure. Because otherwise, do your own research and all the rest of that. But I get it. There are some people out there that are like, I'm too dumb for that. That's fine. Hook up to you might be in the right spot. Thankfully. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that you hit the nail on the head with a lot of that. I think it's I think that he does need to be painted in a different light, to some degree, and focused on some of that other stuff, because it's, that's the Mark Twain quote. I think I quoted it last week. I don't know. The truth can, a lie can travel halfway around the world before the truth ties its shoes in the morning. So that's the thing that you have to work against. I mean, people bullshit.
It's just opportunity at this point, though.
Yeah, it is. It really is opportunity.
Syndrome is just another opportunity.
It's true, and that's something that, like, by we all understand that, and to some degree, it's allowed us to have all the time in the world. Like, if you didn't think you had enough time to buy Hex, if you've been paying attention and watching streams for, I don't know, even the past 2 months, you've had all the time in the world to buy Hex at a great price. I mean, and somewhat, I guess, to some degree, you're right. The Richard Hart derangement syndrome and people not giving him his credit and his attitude about it, all those things has actually given you more time. So cheers to that.
Yeah, and I still continue to buy Hex to this day. I bought Hex at 9 cents. It doesn't even faze me at this point. It really doesn't.
No, at the right time, I'll buy for sure.
Yeah. So I just wanted to touch on that, Motley, because I've seen, you're not, bashful about posting when you buy Hex. I mean, I understand, saving some, alpha or whatever, but just in terms of buying Hex, do you see that as something, is like an ongoing thing, or is there a price limit where, like, okay, I'm good now? Or do you see it kind of like a 401k kind of thing, like just going on and on and on? Or is there just like, okay, I'm good?
Yeah, well, it's funny because I have this conversation with a lot of OG community members all the time, and a lot of them just tell me, like, to throw money into Hex at this point, like, it's just, in comparison to where your bag is at, it doesn't make sense. But for me, my standpoint is just different, because I know ultimately where we're going in 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 years, and the numbers just get absolutely stupid. So it doesn't matter to me at what point, even though I've been in since day one and we're now at almost 10 cents, like, to me, it doesn't even matter. Like, every $100 I throw in here now could be $100,000 down the road. Like, it's just, to me, like, why not? What am I doing with that stupid fiat money in the meantime? It's just getting inflated to nothing. If I have it available, I don't need it. It's going into Hex. I want to be as close to the Federal Reserve, where in the fiat world, I'm not. I'm low man on the totem pole. My money's getting inflated to shit. So why would I not put all the money I can, even what people perceive as a high price for Hex, is going to be just a blip on the radar 5, 10, 15 years down the road, why would I not continue to put my dirty fiat that's getting inflated to nothing into HEX right now? To me, it makes perfect sense to just continue to buy HEX if I can, and I do.
How about you?
If you're putting in hundreds now and taking out tens of thousands later, and then you're all good, you know. And I mean, and that's the thing, is that like you could still be putting in those hundreds then too, you know. I mean, like that's what keeps the system, like that's what makes it super awesome. Is it like we all are all part of spreading out the volatility and managing our own, marshmallow test, basically, you know.
How about you, Brand? So, do you have like a long-term vision in mind, or like I was asking Motley, is it like, do you have like a price point where like, okay, I'm good with HEX, or I mean, you're a younger bro, man. Like you got more years ahead of you than a lot of the Hexagon community. So, does the strategy change, or are you just constantly evaluating it?
Well, I mean, what I've done already now is have a lot of stakes, right, that go out into the future. And so when I think about certain price targets, whether it be 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, the thing is, the cool thing with HEX is when you're staked, you're hard locked, right? It's not like you can sell all of your bag unless you were to end stake it. And as far as the strategy goes, I mean, I'm pretty much just trying to maximize the amount of interest in T-shares that I can do right now, because I know how rare they are. I mean, like I mentioned, like $1 is like a 10x from here. And, I look at the total value or just the amount of interest that the bag is earning now. And it's like, man, a 10x from what I'm earning right now is significant. And so it definitely, it makes things that I wanted in the future happen a lot sooner. And now it's like, okay, how do I plan for this, and how can I structure certain things in the future to accommodate the stakes and the gains and stuff like that. So not necessarily does it change the lifestyle too much. I mean, there's obviously things that you want in life and in certain lifestyles, but the cool thing, like I mentioned about HEX, is it's not like you're just selling all of your Bitcoin that you bought at a penny at $1. And, it's got that hard lock function, and it incentivizes you to lock it by earning you an interest. So I'm definitely in it for the long run. And the cool thing about HEX too is you have your principal. As far as the stake goes, you have your principal, and then you have the principal plus interest with the end stake. And it's like, man, you can kind of push that into more T-shares and do even better. So it just depends on how you want to structure it, what your time frame and horizon is. But I'll tell you what, like I said, I never thought I would be at the position that I'm at now when it comes to the age and the job that I am working. And it's cool, man. It's opening up a lot of opportunities. I mean, I was listening to you guys earlier when you first started, and like I mentioned, the people that I've met and the people that I continue to meet, I was always kind of looking for people that were success driven and almost like as a mentor and stuff like that. And it's really cool to see, Big K, Motley, Cabana. Like, there's so many people that are going where I want to go in the future. And the community itself is so strong, and we've all kind of streamed together and whatnot, that we can really bounce ideas off of each other and learn from each other. So I'm super happy. Like, the strength of the community itself, I'm a big believer in, like, you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? And the weakest link in Hexagon, in HEX, we all bring up to be, a legitimate Hexagon, and we all bring it up to the strength. So it's really cool.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a spoiler for my testimonial video, I guess, is the community is one of the 2 points that I'm going to talk about. And that if Maddie and / Markable or whoever's putting all that together, if there's still time, I just haven't had a chance to do it. But yeah, the community is, I mean, you're getting a copy of it on PulseChain. That aside, I mean, where can you go on this ride with so many great people, entrepreneurs, ex-military or military, musicians, any walk of life, man. It's so cool what we have here, and that's just like one of the intangibles that you don't think about in an investment, right? I mean, it's like you want price to go up, sure, but we're doing this stream here. It was about to go off about like an hour and a half ago or whatever it was, and I came on and got rugged by Kirk and Jim and Motley and Maddie. I'm kidding, but it resumed, and now like viewership is going right back up, and chat's awesome, and it's just so cool to talk all this stuff, and man, I just can't express the I don't know, gratitude for how awesome this community is, man. It's so cool.
100%. One of the best features.
And
yeah, you're right. I love that. I love that analogy of you're getting the biggest thing that you're getting is a copy of the community. Like that is true, and an even stronger copy, because like here's the thing: is there's like there's a whole new wave, like you said, Brian. There's a whole new wave of growth in that Hex chat or the Pulse chat that like wasn't in the Hex chat, and there's tons of new people, man. A lot of people that are super interested. I mean, they can't be a bad thing. It definitely can't be a bad thing.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, I guess we can wrap it up. Ditto, Wales, man. Love you too, man. I mean, even this is a great example. So Wales wasn't in like from the ground floor, but you have such a wonderfully designed product and a community that someone as smart as Wales can come in and understand it and appreciate it and take his time and stream with everyone and put out informational videos, not just about crypto, but repo markets and stuff like that. I mean, I don't, want to say, hey, we onboarded Wales in a sense, because you're a valuable member, bro. But I don't, you know what I mean? Like it's organic, man, and you get great minds like that into this ecosystem, into this family, and it's just growing, man. It's so exciting.
100%.
Yep.
The other thing I'll say just real quick is RG3 kind of talks about the, sure, you have the OGs, kind of like the parabolic curve, right? You've got people that were in early adopters, and then you've got eventually people that end up like whales, right? That see an opportunity. They didn't participate per se in Bitcoin, but now they see HEX, and it's like I said, the lightning striking twice. They're not going to miss the same opportunity twice. And so there's just so many other people like Wales and Kareem that are sitting on the sidelines or haven't heard about HEX, haven't found out about HEX, that will. And it's awesome to see that it's like a snowball, right? Just going down the hill. And right now we're just kind of like a small snowball, and it's just progressing down the hill and just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's going to involve, like I mentioned, people that like RG3 says, like people that can stream better or have, just better talking points or can describe it in a way that we haven't in a while. And it's awesome to see that we also cross promote everyone. We're not stingy about like, oh, should I promote this person or that person? We all promote each other. We're all kind of like one unit that wants the success of HEX.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I think it's more than likely that the biggest hexagon, the most intensely believing hexagon out there, the strongest supporter of this community, hasn't even bought HEX yet. Somebody is out there that's going to feel it harder than we've all ever felt it when they finally understand it, and they're going to bring stuff to the community that we never even imagined. That's very, very possible.
We're a small snowball at like the number 3 crypto right now, which is nuts.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I didn't know if we had tapped on that subject yet.
And it's just true. There's just so many gates that still have to come down, and they are coming down. But it's just like we are number 3 crypto, and we have so much more room to not only just grow in this space, but just beyond and into traditional finance. And it's just, you guys are going to be the wealthiest people on the planet, which is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is
Motley,
crypto
not
hasn't really hit its like crypto as a whole hasn't even really taken over like it can and is still pretty small of a thing, you know, let alone us really being the ones to blow it wide open.
Yeah, Rose. Well, thank you for continuing on and making this the longest, I think, happy hour ever. And appropriate that it was at the beach and awesome. And we will figure out maybe something for next week. This is too cool. Thank you, Motley, for like saving the stream in a sense.
Yep.
And now we
Not
have
a problem.
Brand and Kirk, and it just turned into a wonderful conversation. Just me and you, Motley, man. That's kind of like a preview of what I want to do with some Mexicans just in crypto chat, man. It was that was cool in itself, but to get Kirk back is awesome. Brand coming in, so cool. And yeah, man, we'll end the show like we always do. Just tell us where we can find you. Big Kirk, go for it.
Yeah. You can find me at Big Kirkowski on Twitter, at Big Kirkowski on Telegram, and you can find me in Vegas next week.
Hell yeah.
Facts.
Motley, where you at?
Yep. Same thing. Motley Investor, YouTube, Twitter, Telegram, and I'll be in Vegas as well.
And Valley Brand, the brand hammer.
Yep. Pretty much Balliet Brand everywhere. I think on Facebook it's Brandon Balliet, but yeah, pretty much Balliet Brand. As the link shows, allmylinks.com/Balliet Brand. Thanks to Maddie for showing that conglomerate, but yeah, Balliet Brand.
Yeah, thank you everyone in chat who like stuck around through the rug pull, came back and actually gave us like really, you know, pretty good numbers by the end, man. So you guys rock, dude. I love all you guys. And yes, Discourse is up in an hour, and
Go check them out.
we might go to the green room for a couple shenanigans after, but thank you very much. Yes, Valiant Brand, like the stream, or he will unleash the brand hammer on you. Thanks, bro. It's been awesome. I want to do it from Florida and Vegas. We'll see, but
Cabana getting his feels.
Yeah, thank you, chat, and you guys rock, man. So thank you. We'll see you again.